Pittsburgh. It's raining there.
From Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh, it's time for Steelers 76. Pro football action with the world champion Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm Jack Fleming, along with Myron. We'll be describing the action this afternoon as the Steelers meet the New England Patriots. The third game of the season. The two clubs coming into the contest with identical 1-1 records. The Steelers coming off a victory over the Cleveland Browns. And New England coming off of one of its finest recent wins over the Miami Dolphins. The crowd this afternoon, a sellout, better than 50,000. The weather, strictly overcast. Rain started to fall within the past hour. The artificial turf is still in good condition, but the weatherman says temperature around 70 degrees on the afternoon, and rain should continue throughout the day. Steeler reserves have just made their appearance on the field, coming to the near side in black jerseys, white numerals, and the New England Patriots in white with red numerals and blue trim are ready to come out on the field themselves. So we're just about ready for football. We'll have the starting lineups and the kickoff after this pause on the Pittsburgh Steelers Football Network.
The Patriots are still looking for their first win over the Steelers, who lead the brief series 2-0. Both teams coming off initial victories. Patriots their 30-14 upset victory over the Dolphins last Sunday, and the Steelers smashing a win over Cleveland 31-14. New England rolled past Miami with 278 rushing yards. That's the second best in the club's history, and the most versus a Don Shula-coached Dolphin club. And 3 Steve Grogan TD passes. Running back Sam Cunningham at 21 carries for 106 yards, his 5th career 100-plus game, while Grogan scrambled 9 times for 76 and scored the Pats' 4th TD on a 13-yard run. So they're coming off a great game. The Patriots defense made 5 quarterback sacks last week. As we said, both teams won their ball game. Elsewhere today around the league, some other key games. We've got the Jets playing at Miami, Minnesota at Detroit, Buffalo at Tampa Bay, Green Bay at Cincinnati, Oakland at Houston, Atlanta at Chicago, New Orleans at Kansas City. The Giants are in Los Angeles to play the Rams, Cleveland's at Denver, the new club, Seattle, hosting their second game in their existence. San Francisco is invading Seattle, St. Louis at San Diego, Baltimore at Dallas. The Monday night game will feature Washington at Philadelphia. And, of course, along the way, we'll be keeping you posted on the outcome of those 2 games. In the Eastern Division, the only undefeated team now in the American Football Conference is Baltimore, 2-0. In the Central, Houston leads that with 2-0. In the Western, 2 teams tied, Oakland and San Diego, both 2-0. NFC undefeated teams are Dallas and St. Louis, along with Chicago and Los Angeles.
The Steelers are being introduced, the offensive unit today. Lynn Swann has returned and has been introduced, and Terry Bradshaw comes out, and here comes Rocky Blyer, and finally Franco Harris, and listen to this crowd. I'd say this crowd is ready for football this afternoon, and would you agree, Mr. Cope?
I sure would. It's an enthusiastic crowd, and Lynn Swann got a tremendous ovation from the crowd. This is a problematical game, no question about it. I've got a lot of respect for New England because they have a lot of young talent that was needing mostly a quarterback, and maybe they find one. Steve Grogan was so good last week against Miami, but remember, he's still young, so he's got to be uneven in his performance, and let's hope today is one of those days where the unevenness shows.
Incidentally, Cope, I want you to be strictly impartial this afternoon because today's Steeler broadcast is being heard around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. From Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in the USA, our greetings to you wherever you might be listening to one of over 300 American Forces stations around the world. Last year we found out that broadcast took us to all points in the world, not only with servicemen and servicewomen listening, but civilian people, American stationed around the world, and people of other extractions, people in England, in Germany, in Russia, in France. They were listening to the Pittsburgh Steelers and the voice of Myron Cope.
Probably at the North Pole, too. You forgot the North Pole. But anyhow, as I was saying, they have a lot of young talent on this New England team. Their coaches seem to think that Steve Nelson, a middle linebacker, or rather inside linebacker, they use 4 of them, is their best defensive player. Ray Mansfield was telling me he thinks perhaps Sugar Bear Hamilton, the nose guard, is their best defensive player. Maybe the old Ranger says that because he's going to have the Sugar Bear Hamilton right up against him today. In any case, they have top draft choices, 2 of them from the first round this year, in Tim Fox, the safety man from Ohio State, and Pete Brock, the big center from Colorado. Those are 2 of the players they got as a result of trading Jim Plunkett to the San Fran 49ers. They just got a terrific deal in my book. They got so many draft choices. Next year they'll have a first-round draft pick and a second-round draft pick from that deal, too.
New England has won the toss and elects to receive. The Steelers will kick off, and this is where the way the defensive unit will look. In the forward wall, L.C. Greenwood at left end in his 8th year out of Arkansas A&M. At left tackle, Joe Green, 8-year veteran from North Texas State. At right tackle, Ernie Holmes in his 5th season, Texas Southern. At right end, Dwight White, 6-year veteran from East Texas State. The linebackers on the left side, Jack Cam, 6-year man from Penn State. In the middle, Jack Lambert in his 3rd year from Kent State. On the right side, the defensive captain, Andy Russell, in his 12th year from Missouri. The left cornerback, J.T. Thomas, 4-year veteran from Florida State. On the right corner, Mel Blunt in his 7th year from Southern University. And the safety men, Mike Wagner, 6-year veteran from Western Illinois. And Glenn Edwards in his 6th year from Florida A&M. Offensively, for the New England Patriots, the wide receiver, Darryl Stingley, 4-year veteran from Purdue. At left tackle, Leon Gray in his 4th year from Jackson State. The left guard, John Hanna, in his 4th year from Alabama. The center, the veteran Bill Lenkitis, 9-year veteran from Penn State. At right guard, Sam Adams in his 5th year from Prairie View. At right tackle, Bob McKay, out of the University of Texas in his 7th year. The tight end, Russ Francis, 2-year veteran from Oregon. The running back, Andy Johnson in his 3rd year from Georgia. Sam Cunningham, 4-year veteran from Southern California. The quarterback, Steve Grogan in his 2nd season from Kansas State. And Marlon Briscoe, 9-year veteran from Nebraska, Omaha. All right, the New England Patriots have gone deep with Ricky Feature. Don Calhoun and Jess Phillips are the up men. Roy Girella will kick off left to right. The Steelers in black and gold. Here comes Girella, and he kicks it well as he did last week. Coming down a yard deep in the end zone. Feature coming out with the ball over the 5, the 10, running to the right along the 10. Trying to cut up field outside of the far side over the 15, the 20, the 25, the 30, the 35. He's still going at the 40 and brought down along the sideline at the 45-yard line. Mel Blunt made the tackle. And that young man, Ricky Feature, from Mississippi Valley State, took the ball 1 yard deep in the end zone, made his move to the 10-yard line, went laterally to the far side of the field, got a screen of blockers up the sideline. His return brought it back to the 45. New England in white uniforms, red numerals, and blue trim moving right to left. Marlon Briscoe is the other wide receiver. He is from Nebraska, Omaha. All right, now they use a switch that puts a man into the slot on the shift. Slot left. And the handoff is taken by Andy Johnson, trying to get outside to the right. He's gang tackled along the 45-yard line. Jack Ham and J.T. Thomas led the defensive charge for the Steelers. Now they open with a tricky shift. The Steelers had said they thought they would get nothing unusual. That was a bit unusual because they had 3 men shifting as they split a man right and went into a slot left. Took the ball to the right side, gained a yard at 2nd and 9.
They'll use a lot of gimmicks, they will, including something called the Hawaiian Eye, which we'll get into later when we see it.
Well, the Hawaiian Eye is nothing but the wishbone with a guy from Hawaii playing the fullback post.
Well, then he shifts out of it, though.
Here they come in motion to the left. Darryl Stingley with the ball. They draw, rolling right. The quarterback firing downfield, bounces it in front of his target at the 40-yard line. That was Marlon Briscoe. So the first pass, under pressure, thrown by the young man from Kansas State, was short of its target down low. Joe Green had the rush on the quarterback. Now, we've talked to the Steelers this past week, and they denied emphatically that this was a gimmick-type offense, and I pressed them on it because Fairbanks, coming from Oklahoma, and having come up with that wishbone and nicknaming it the Hawaiian Eye, I said, they're going to use a lot of gimmicks. Jack Ham said, no way. We'll see. Flanker right, split end to the left, and a slot back wide to the left. They spread them. They've got receivers out there. Grogan back in the pocket. Throws to the backfield. Coming out of the backfield, Sam Cunningham at the 45 goes over the 50 and down to the 47. Now, this has been their tendency. This has been their tendency throughout the season. Johnson and Cunningham are their leading pass receivers. And so Cunningham, coming out of the backfield after they had completely flooded the area downfield, took that pass, advanced it to the Steeler 47-yard line. Not enough for a first down. It is 4th and 2.
The Steelers were clearly looking for the toss to Andy Johnson, a running back who is their prime receiver. And Cunningham being the only man in the backfield, they didn't think they'd send him out for the pass, but it was a clever play, yet not enough for the first down.
All right, tonight, the New England Patriots are in front formation. Mike Patrick standing at his own 38-yard line. The kick will carry right to left. And here's his punt. High and spiraling. And coming down over the head of the receivers and into the end zone. Bounce back out of the end zone. Fair catch called for at the 5-yard line. We had Hugh Quindella playing downfield. And the ball carried into the end zone by about a yard and bounced back out. And that was a very close play. Had that ball hit, say, about a foot out of the end zone and bounced back, they would have been in deep trouble. So it is the touchback gives Pittsburgh the ball at the 20-yard line. 1st and 10. We'll check over this offensive unit for you. Frank Lewis is back in action today at wide receiver. Lynn Swann is in the slot to the left. Lewis is wide to that side. And we've got Blair pulled up as a wing back to the right. A double wing formation to give to Franco, galloping off the right side of the 25 to 30, and brought down at the 32-yard line on the near side of the field. The tackle made by Jim Fox, the free safety. He's a youngster, a rookie from Ohio State. And they sent Franco off the right side, and running beautifully, he brought it up to the 32-yard line, the initial first down of the ball game. Frank Lewis is a wide receiver. John Cole at left tackle. Sam Davis at left guard. Ray Mansfield at center. Mike Webster at right guard. Jerry Mullins at right tackle. Randy Grossman, the tight end. Gordon Gravel is out of there today, and Jim Clack is out with injury. Slot left for the Steelers. Bradshaw flips it into the left flat. Ball taken by Lewis, and Lewis gets back to the 35-yard line, and that's as far as he could go. Frank Lewis taking about 3 steps back, holding out in the left flat area. The quick shot out there from Bradshaw. He came up to the 35-yard line, knocked down by Julie Adams and Prentice McRae on the far side of the field.
And he was doing well to make a couple of yards on that because Prentice McRae had the shot at him. Could have nailed him for a loss. Frank managed to outstep him and get a few before McRae brought him down.
All right, the Steelers at the 35-yard line. 2nd down and 7 yards to go. From the I formation, the pitch back to Rocky Blyer, the tailback. He drives to the right, comes up over the 40, and onto the 42-yard line. He's very close to a first down. That time running out of the I and pitching the ball to Blyer, and they got good blocking to the right side before Steve Zabel, the left side outside linebacker, and Bob Howard made the tackle. Now in the 3-man rush, Tony McGee has been replaced by Mel Lunsford from Central State. The nose tackle is Ray Hamilton, 4-year veteran from Oklahoma. Julie Adams, the right end, we're going to call it that. The left side outside linebacker is Steve Zabel. On the left, the inside linebacker, Steve Nelson. Sam Hunt and Steve King round out the linebackers. 3 Steves and a Sam. Tight formation. They need short yardage for a first down. Sending Franco to the left. Cuts back over the 45. He drives to the 50 and goes to the New England 49-yard line. Pair of tight ends that time, looking for the short yardage. They sent Franco to the left, and then he made a move to the outside, cut forward, and down running room down over the 50, fought his way to the New England 49-yard line, and it is a first down. That's number 2 for the Steelers.
50 running by Franco. Once he ran the hole, he broke a tackle by defensive end Mel Lunsford, who was in there in that 6-man front on that short yardage play.
All right, it is first down and 10 yards to go for the Steelers. No score in the ball game. Very early in the first quarter at Three Rivers Stadium. Head off to Blyer. Blyer gets a good block, cuts inside of it, comes down over the 45 to the 43-yard line. Sam Davis blocking in front of Rocky Blyer. Cleared a man out of there, and Blyer cut inside. And the tackle was made by Mel Lunsford and Sam Hunt after the ball had been advanced to the New England 43-yard line. They're keeping it covered today because of the rain. A gain of 6 yards, 2nd down, and 4 yards to go. Swann and Lewis are the wide receivers. Harris and Blyer the running backs. Grossman is the tight end. That completes the offensive alignment. This time we put Lewis in the slot to the right. Swann is split right. A double wing with Blyer, the wing back to the left. Handoff, rather pitch back, goes to Franco. He's running outside of the left, turns the corner at the 40, goes down to the 35-yard line. John Cole pulling and throwing the key block. And they're eating up the New England defense going to the outside, running away from that straight up the middle and going to the outside. And that time from a double wing formation with Lewis in the slot to the right and Blyer in a wingback position close left. They ran to the left and Franco down for the first down.
And it was Mike Hayes, the rookie cornerback, whom John Cole wiped out of the play, took him to the outside so the runner could cut inside.
First down, 10 yards to go at the 35. Bradshaw rolls right. Here he comes to 35 to 30. Heading outside, and he makes it at the 25-yard line. Barry Bradshaw on a rollout play to the right side. Headed downfield to the sideline. Steve Nelson crowded him out at the New England 25-yard line. A first down for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the big quarterback showed them how he can gallop. First down, 10 yards to go at the Patriots 25-yard line.
And that was not a scramble. It was not an improvised play. What it was, right from scratch, was a running play. The Steelers have a run play for Bradshaw in there.
Overcast, rainy day, but not cold. It's rather warm, pleasant. Out of the I formation. At the New England 25-yard line. The Steelers with the football. The pitchback goes to Blyer. He's got blockers again running to the right side. Comes to the sideline and picks up short yardage. Just simply ran out of space around the 22 or 23-yard line. Dennis McCray made the stop on him. And McCray is a three-year man from Arizona State. Let's look again at that defense. We didn't complete it. Steve Zabel, the left outside linebacker. Steve Nelson, the left inside linebacker. Sam Hunt, the right inside linebacker. And Steve King, the right outside linebacker. 4 linebackers in a 3-4 defense. Bob Howard on the left corner is from San Diego State. Mike Haynes, a rookie on the right corner from Arizona State. Strong safety is Prentice McCray, and the free safety is Tim Fox. All right, now we've got a double slot to the left. Blyer and Swann are in the slot, and the ball is handed off for a straight-ahead drive by Franco down to the 20, maybe to the 19-yard line. And Pittsburgh is doing some different things. That time with both Blyer and Swann in the slot to the left, set up wide by Lewis out in the same direction to the far side of the field. And what happens, they send Franco straight ahead. He's down to the 19 with a tackle made by Richard Bishop.
And the Steelers on this drive 4 times have swept the left side of the Boston defense, the New England defense. They were successful with it the first 3 times. I think they have something there to work on, obviously.
Phenomenal the way they've done it. Back goes Bradshaw, looking, firing. There's the target, Randy Grossman at the 5-yard line. Randy coming straight down, and the clock at the 5-yard line was the target, and he took it. And was brought down on the play by Mike Haynes. They will spot it at the 6-yard line. Randy Grossman, the 3-year veteran from Temple University, getting the catch for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And Happy New Year, Randy Grossman. He started his 3rd straight game. Chuck Noll refuses to call Randy a starter, but he started this game as he did the previous 2, and he's off to a nice New Year.
First down at 6 yards to go for the Steelers, shifting into the I formation. Swann to the right. Lewis to the left. Pitch back goes to Blyer. Finds the opening, slides through it over the right side, goes off tackle, inside the 5, down to the 4. They gang up on him. Sam Hunt was at the bottom of the play. And now we come on with Larry Brown, a second tight end. We bring in Ray Penny, the rookie from Washington. Lewis and Swann are coming off the field. So right now it is 2nd down and 4 yards to go. And the Steelers are at the New England 4-yard line. Clock turning with 7:46 to play in the first quarter. We're lining up with Mullins tight to the left. We've got Brown tight to the right, and Grossman is the wingman to the right side. Give us to Franco, going outside to the left. Franco's trying to make it. Franco's into the end zone. Franco has scored a touchdown for the Pittsburgh Steelers with the 2 tight ends and a perfect blocking screen to the left. Franco Harris goes outside. He was untouched. Mike Webster threw a big block for the big running back from Penn State. Franco Harris gallops into the end zone, and the Steelers are on the board with 6 points, taking a 6-0 lead over the Patriots.
And the man who Mike Webster knocked out of that play was Prentice McCray, the defensive back, and I mean to tell you, Webster exploded him.
Walden is the holder at the 10-yard line. Jarrella the kicker. The goalpost to the right as we view the ballgame for you at Three River Stadium. Roy Jarrella has kicked for the extra point. High enough, long enough, good enough. The score is 7-0, and we'll be right back.
That was Franco's 3rd touchdown of this young season, and he is among, as usual, the leading scorers. Rucker of Cleveland has had 4 touchdowns, all in reception for 24 points. He leads the AFC in the scoring, but Harris now has 3 touchdowns and, of course, 18 points, all via the ground. Leading passer is Stipe of Cleveland. He has 22 completions out of 44 for 276 yards, the most yards through the air in the AFC. That will go to Jones of Baltimore, 491. Bradshaw, Pittsburgh, has attempted 50 passes going into the game today, completing 22. completion percentage of 44%. For 330 yards, Grogan of New England, 28 out of 49, 57.1 to 345 yards. Leading pass receiver for New England is Johnson, stalwart for Pittsburgh.
80 yards in 12 plays went to Steelers, and it was as beautifully an executed touchdown drive as you care to see. Bradshaw threw the ball only twice, a flat pass to Frank Lewis, and then the zinger down the middle to Randy Grossman that set up the touchdown. It was largely a ground attack. The Steelers were blocking beautifully. They're underway here with a 7-0 lead in the first period.
Girello will kick off. Ricky Feature is deep. And the kick carries all the way down into the end zone, 3 yards deep to Feature. Here he comes out over the 5, the 10, coming to the right over the 15, the 20, and is caught and brought down as he crosses the 20-yard line. The tackle made by Jack Delaplane, the rookie from Salem College. So Delaplane becomes an adept headhunter and brings him down at the 22. We talked to Randy Grossman this week about his disappearance from that power formation. He had disappeared in the two tight end situation, and they'd gone to other looks, and they were using Frenchie Fuqua as the wingback, and he explained they try constantly to change that personnel to give it a different look, so the different teams will see something they haven't expected. Inside handoff to Sam Cunningham, and Cunningham gets nothing but short yardage, maybe a couple of yards, as he hits up the middle. Steve Burnett made the tackle. Now take a look at Cunningham, who is in his 4th year out of Southern Cal. And he was doing some running out there when Lynn Swann was catching passes. Cunningham came into this game as the leading rusher for the Patriots. 35 attempts, 162 yards, coming into the ball game with a 4.6 average. Grogan was second with 90 yards, 8.1 average. All right, this time they're wide left in a slot, sending a running back in motion. Don Calhoun in the ball game, going to the right. The pitch out goes to the left side. Carried by Andy Johnson. He's hit at the 25, fights his way forward, maybe to the 28-yard line. They put the floor of the play to the left. Picked up a blocker with a man in motion, pitched the ball out. And they carried the ball up to the 28-yard line. Jack Ham made the tackle. It's going to be 3rd down now, and about 4 yards to go.
The Steelers had an army of men moving out to the left to meet Johnson. Oddly enough, nobody really hit him. He just stumbled. Otherwise, he might have had a gain, might have found a crack through that army.
All right, New England goes into what it calls the Hawaiian eye. That's the wishbone. Now they shift out of it and go into a standard pro formation. That is what they are most likely to do. A fake, play action, pass, Grogan, near side, incomplete at the 39-yard line, intended for Cunningham. No line of Jack Lambert covering. All right, they line up in what they call a Hawaiian eye. The reason being, Russ Francis, their tight end, is the fullback, the lead back in the wishbone. It has no connection with an eye formation, except that Francis, who played at Oregon, is from Hawaii. Now they shift out of that, and they go into a standard pro offense with Francis shifting into the tight end position, putting a slot back to the left and a flanker to the right, and that's all I can tell you about it. They're in punt formation. Patrick at his own 13. He'll punt right to left. Patrick has the snap. He gets it away. Very high, extremely high. Downfield, waiting for it. Fuqua, he bobbles it. New England has recovered. New England has the football at the Steelers' 25-yard line. Al Chandler recovered for the New England Patriots, as Frenchie Fuqua and Jack Delaplane appeared to be having difficulty making up their mind who would catch it. Finally, Fuqua was the receiver. He reached for the football. It went through his hands. It was recovered by Chandler at the 26. That's where they say New England has the ball. And right now the Patriots have picked up a big break, and they've got great field position.
Well, Frenchie and Delaplane were standing side by side under that punt, and apparently there was confusion over who should take it.
Patriots 1st and 10 at the Steeler 26. Pittsburgh leading 7-0. Handoff given to Cunningham, right into the left. Cut, he's hit. Wowie. He made a cut over Walt Blunt, who was down on the ground, and he went into the air. Ernie Holmes met him in midair, and Ernie Holmes hit him solidly. I mean, he gave him a good, solid, clean lick. And the ball is spotted at the 25-yard line, so he made 1 yard.
That's a tackle that'll take your teeth out. Now, Pete Rozelle, there was nothing about it that you could find as a basis for finding the fat man, as you did the other day for a little bit of rough play. That was a solid hit.
All right, the Patriots on 2nd down and 9 at the 25. Wide in both directions. Back goes Grogan. He sets up. Lots of time. He fires too high for his target. Darryl Stingley down at the 11-yard line. Stingley was running in between J.T. Thomas and Mel Blum in the general areas. He came down and made his move in on a square-in pattern at the 11-yard line, overthrown by the quarterback, who had nothing but time to throw that football. Well, actually, what Fuqua had was a muff, but in the NFL, they classify that as a fumble, so we've got a fumble lost officially. You point out in the rule book that you don't fumble a ball unless you have possession. And he did not have possession, so it was a muff reception. Jimmy Allen is in. Lawrence James is in. We go to 5 back. Here comes New England. Grogan almost slipping as he set up. He's firing to the end zone, and it is incomplete. Jim Allen with inside position on Russ Francis, the big tight end. And Francis running sharply to the coffin corner on the far side of the field. And Allen had him out-positioned all the way into the end zone on a pass that was overthrown. It is incomplete. The Patriots will bring on John Smith, their kicking specialist. Smith is 2 for 2 in the 20 to 29-yard range. He's going to kick this one from the 25. That's a 35-yard field goal. He is 1 for 2 in that range. We have Lambert and Russell back into our lineup at this point. The holder is Mike Patrick. Make this the 32-yard line, a 42-yard attempt. And it is up there. It appears to be long enough. It is good. Just a beautiful field goal try by Smith. That makes him 4 for 6 on the season, a 42-yard job, and the score is 7-3 in the ballgame. Steelers football continues after this timeout.
Other games in the NFL this Sunday, the Dallas Cowboys and the Baltimore Colts, two of the youngest but most talented clubs in the NFL, meet this afternoon in the battle of unbeaten teams. The Colts, the defending AFC Eastern Division champs, scored a 28-27 victory over Cincinnati last week. Now the Colts are faced with stopping Roger Staubach, the NFC's leading passer. Two other showdowns between unbeaten clubs also are on tap for Sunday. The Oakland Raiders take their high-powered offense to Houston against an Oilers team that has allowed only 3 points in 2 games. And Jim Hart, the St. Louis Cardinals, will test the Chargers' young defense in San Diego. The unbeaten Chicago Bears play their 1,000th game against the Atlanta Falcons. Los Angeles Rams entertain the New York Giants, and the Minnesota Vikings visit the Detroit Lions. Elsewhere, New Orleans at Kansas City, Cleveland at Denver, San Francisco at Seattle, Buffalo at Tampa Bay, Green Bay at Cincinnati, and the Jets are at Miami.
Well, the Steelers' defense has been superb, hasn't allowed a first down, but it took a missed punt by Frenchie Fuqua, a recovery by New England, and a field goal, and it's 7-3. The kickoff, Jack.
Here comes the kickoff down to the 8-yard line with the ball. Jack Delaplane up at the 15, the 20, puts his head down at the 25 and goes to the 27, and is getting tackled back. Pete Barnes made the tackle for New England, and the Steelers are ready to go 1st and 10.
Incidentally, I heard just before this game that Kenny Stabler will not play today for the Oakland Raiders, who are meeting the Houston Oilers down in the Astrodome, a very important game to the Steelers. I can't vouch that that's 100% accurate information. It's sort of a surprise, but that's what I was told.
It is 1st down and 10 yards to go. Pittsburgh at its own 27. Slot left. The give is to Franco. Works his way up the right side of the 30. Cuts upfield to the 35 and comes to the sideline at the 37-yard line. The tackle made by Steve Nelson, the left inside linebacker for the New England Patriots. 6'2", 230-pounder. The ball is short of a first down by a yard. A 9-yard gain by Harris, 2nd and 1. We'll be back after this pause on the Steelers Football Network.
Here's how the top teams in college football fared on Saturday. Number 1, Michigan really won over Navy in a big way, 70-14, scoring 49 of those points in the second half. We'll have the rest of the lineup of what happened yesterday in just a few moments.
Bradshaw flips it into the right flat to Swann. Swann picks up a little bit of a screen, comes to the 40, leaps, and is brought down. Lynn Swann, the receiver in the right flat. 2 steps back, took the ball. Came up. Jerry Mullins is over there to block for him. Steve Nelson caught Swann high in the air and knocked him down. He picks up a first down. I show Steelers with a total of 8. That is the 3rd pass thrown, the 3rd one completed, and Swann's first catch of the day. Swann said this week that he was looking very closely at his future. He's had, I think, 4 concussions, 1 in college ball and 3 in pro ball, and that he is thinking seriously of giving up the game next year. I looked him in the eye and questioned that statement. Franco through the middle. Nice quick opener. Over the 45, onto the 48-yard line. Dennis McCray, the strong safety, made the tackle. And they opened it up beautifully up the middle for Franco. The close observers will tell you there's no finer competitor than Swann. A talented young man, not strong of frame, but an extremely fine athlete. And he just may be a little bit dejected after taking a cheap shot in Oakland and then seeing the ensuing argument that it caused. Bradshaw rolling right. Bradshaw deep. Bradshaw to the 50. Leaps over the tackler and it goes out of bounds at the New England 49-yard line, and that should be enough for a first down. Bradshaw running his option just absolutely beautifully, coming to that sideline. And Myron, you remember in his earlier days when he used to like to stay in bounds and take that lick and get hurt. Now he knows where to go.
No, he's older and wiser, and he will run for that sideline. And not only that, he'll keep running because he's had a few guys pursue him out of bounds and belt him, even though he was several yards out of bounds. So he just keeps going and saves the old hide. It's valuable.
All right, Bradshaw has the team set 1st and 10 at the New England 49. Bradshaw is very deep, firing the ball. Look out, there goes Frank Lewis. He can't get to it. Down at the 9-yard line, Lewis was being covered step for step by Mike Haynes, the right cornerback. And Lewis was fighting to get there but could not. Gentlemen, something has happened in this ball game we haven't taken note of. The Steelers have been scored upon in the first quarter for the first time since the New England Patriots did it in 1974. 3 points in the first period. That's the first time it's happened.
And if you've just joined us, we just have 2 minutes and 27 seconds remaining in the first period. The Steelers are on top, 7-3.
Louis Craig has been watching that trivia statistic week after week, and it's slipped up on him here this afternoon.
Well, change it to they haven't allowed a touchdown in all
That's
that
right.
time.
No touchdowns in the first quarter. 7-3, Pittsburgh. Steelers at the New England 49, double wing formation. Pitch out to the left side to Franco. He's got blockers. They can't help him. He loses the football. It's down on the turf. And New England has recovered. Franco was not hit. He was simply maneuvering, and the ball got away from him. See if we can tell who was on it. It was Mike Haynes, the right cornerback. 2 blockers were working out there, John Kolb and Sam Davis. And somehow or other, they failed to break down the defenders. And they came at Franco, and as he moved to get away, the ball squirted out of his hand. New England recovers, and the turnover gives the Patriots good field position once again at the Steeler 44.
Actually, Franco outmaneuvered Haynes, but as he went by him, Haynes reached out and poked the football away and then recovered it.
At the 44-yard line. Handoff taken by Sam Cunningham, and he hits into the middle for about a yard. Joe Green and Jack Lambert make the tackle. Go to 2nd down and 9.
Every yard, 2nd down and 9.
Greenwood, Green, Furness, and Benazak are up front. Ham, Lambert, and Russell are the linebackers. Thomas and Blunter on the corners. Wagner and Edwards are the safeties. High formation. Bootleg. Back deep. And Grogan fires. Connects downfield with Russ Francis. He's hit hard by J.T. Thomas at the Steeler, 25, and he holds onto the football. And Francis comes up with a big catch. Grogan just did a beautiful job of faking and concealing that football as he went back. And he hits Francis, the tight end. On the season, Francis did not have too many catches. He's had 4 for 24 yards coming into the ball game. That is the initial first down for the Patriots on the afternoon. They're at the Steeler 25-yard line. First down catch. Slot left formation. Sending the slot man, Dale Stingley, in motion to the right. Grogan takes. Grogan gives. Andy Johnson trying to fight his way over the right side. He'll get a yard or 2, and that's all. Andy Johnson, 6 feet, 204 pounds, out of the University of Georgia, running over the right side, stopped by Jack Lambert, the middle linebacker, and Mike Wagner, the Steelers safety man, and the ball is spotted at the 23.5-yard line And they're looking at second down and about 8.5 yards to go.
Andy Johnson, as Chuck Noll pointed out on his pregame show, was a quarterback in college. Didn't he? New England Pats used him as a wide receiver and then as a running back, where he is now used very much as a receiver, too.
Slot left formation for the Patriots. Grogan takes the draw, takes the end around. Grogan throws, and it's incomplete. Now, boy, they are doing something there. Grogan takes the draw. Then Grogan faked the end around the Stingley. The draw was to Johnson. He faked that. Am I right? He faked the end around the Stingley, and then he threw a screen pass to Andy Johnson. So set it up this way. A fake draw to Cunningham, then a fake end around to Stingley, a lot of play action, and then throwing the screen pass to Johnson out to the left, and he could not hold on to the football. Fell incomplete. Now that's something I don't think I've ever seen that play. A beauty. Flanker right. Flip to the left and slot man to the left. And here comes the pass downfield, and the receiver didn't see it. Grogan appears to be having lots of time. His receiver was Myron Briscoe the first time today coming down, and Briscoe was working in the area of the 5-yard line, and downfield Mel Blunt and Lawrence Cave, and the pass came in behind him. He didn't see it at all. It was incomplete. Bringing on John Smith. Smith with 4:43 to play in this period kicked a 42-yard field goal. Now he's going for a 41-yard field goal. His holder is Mike Patrick. Score 7-3. John Smith got that New England background. Old familiar name up there. Kicks it right down the middle. He gets it. He kicks a 41-yard field goal. And it is a 7-6 ball game, Myron.
And on the field goal defense, we see the Steelers trying to do what many teams are doing around the league. And again, something that Chuck Noll and I talked about on his show before the game. Bunching a lot of people in the middle, trying to blow the middle of the New England line out of there and put pressure on the kicker. Meantime, retaining L.C. Greenwood, the tallest Steeler, in the middle, back at the line of scrimmage, getting his hands high in the air like a basketball player and trying to get a piece of that football. Of course, it didn't work that time, and John Smith pelted another long one. He's got field goals of 42 and 41 yards as the Patriots close the Steelers' lead to 1 point at 7-6 with just 3 seconds remaining in the first period. So this kickoff by New England will be the last play of the first quarter. And let's see Jack Delaplane is due to do something big.
Very high kickoff coming down to Delaplane at the 16, over the 20, coming to the sideline at the 25, the 30, the 35, the 40, the 45, drives to the 50 and goes into New England territory at the New England 46-yard line. John Smith finally got the tackle along with Richard Bishop. Just a great screen of blocking that time for Delaplane, who has that fine speed, can get to the outside and make it count. He found the lane down the near sideline, brought the ball on the return back to the New England 46. On that play, the first quarter comes to an end. The end of the first quarter with a score. Pittsburgh 7, New England 6.
Let's check now and see how some of the top college football teams fared on Saturday. Number 1, Michigan rolled over Navy 70-14. Second-ranked Ohio State surprised by Missouri, upset by the Tigers 22-21. Pittsburgh, number 3, defeated Temple 21-7. Fourth-ranked UCLA over the Air Force Academy 27-7. Fifth-ranked Oklahoma winning over Florida State 24-9. Sixth-ranked Nebraska defeating TCU 64-10. Number 7, Georgia over South Carolina, 20-12. 8th-ranked Maryland, 42. Syracuse, 28. 9th-ranked Texas A&M losing to Houston, 21-10. And 10th-ranked Penn State, an upset loss to Iowa, the Big Ten, 7-6. The second 10, 11th-ranked Arkansas losing to Tulsa, 9-3. 12th-ranked Kansas was idle. 13th-ranked Alabama defeated Vanderbilt, 42-14. 14th-ranked Illinois lost to Baylor, 34-19. And 15th-ranked USC winning over Purdue easily, 31-13.
Steelers move right to left at the start of the second quarter. At the 46-yard line, slot right formation. Hey, broken play, handoff to Franco, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Bradshaw turned and socked the ball into Franco's midsection, and they ran into each other. Franco slipped off to the left and cut back, and he may pick up very slight yardage. Richard Bishop and Julius Adams made the stop, and he makes it to the 45, so he gets a yard on a broken play, 2nd down 9. Cole Davis, Mansfield, Webster, Mullins working in the interior line. We remind you, Jim Clack is out with an injury. Gordon Gravel will not play unless absolutely needed on the right side of the line. Webster moves to right guard. Mullins playing right tackle. Bradshaw is back. Bradshaw is throwing complete to the 39-yard line. Ball caught by Randy Grossman, and he bites his way an additional yard. Again, Grossman coming down short this time and making that square turn in along the 39-yard line. Caught the pass and was hit by Steve Nelson and Julius Adams and brought down. Grossman says that he goes out every day just trying to play his best game and not worry about anything else. And he has played so well for these Steelers over the period of time. This is his 3rd season that he's been with the club. That is his 2nd catch of the afternoon. I also talked to him about his size. He's smaller than most tight ends. He says he has to play a thinking man's game. 2 tight ends now, Wingman on the right side. Bradshaw pitching out to the left to Franco, and I think it's broken again. Back at the 44, he is tailed. Mike Kane. Bradshaw apparently wanted to do something differently with the ball than he did because he had it in his left hand. He was moving to the left. And instead of giving the usual pitch out to Franco, just sort of flipped it backhand to him to get rid of it, and Franco was nailed. So the loss is back to the 42.5-yard line, and for the first time today, we're going to have to punt the football. Bobby Walden standing at his own 44-yard line, and they send Mike Haynes back to receive. Mike Haynes, a rookie from Arizona State. Walden standing at the 44. Punt will carry right to left. Steelers leading 7-6. Fumbles the step, picks it up, fumbles it again. It's loose down on the ground. It's recovered by New England at the Steeler 46. We have given this club possession of the football on 3 fumbles in our territory 3 times this afternoon.
Well, it was a good snap. It was fumbled pure and simple by Bobby Walden. He picked it up. There were 3 men hitting him, and nonetheless he tried to get off the punt. He dropped the football hoping to kick it, but he had not a chance in the world to kick it with 3 big Patriots on top of him. So the Patriots started the Steelers' 46-yard line.
Down 10 there in the I formation, setting their flanker in motion short back to the left, and giving the pitch back to Don Calhoun, and he has fumbled the football, picked up by Jeff Coleman over the 45, the 40 down to the 35, the 30 on the sideline. He is pushed out of bounds at the New England 22-yard line by Darrell Stingley. So the turnover pops right back into the ball game. They pitch the ball to Don Calhoun. Calhoun moving with the football. Lost control of it, scooped up by Jack Lambert. And Lambert turned and came down the near sideline. J.T. Thomas made the hit on Calhoun. Lambert carries the ball all the way down to the New England 22-yard line. Where it is 1st down 10. Darrell Stingley made the tackle.
Rhode Island nothing. Colgate 25, Cornell 20, Columbia 38, Lafayette 31, Delaware 59, North Dakota 17, Harvard 24, Massachusetts 13, Maine 17, Central Connecticut 3, Muhlenberg 45, Johns Hopkins 6, New Hampshire 24, Dartmouth 13, Rutgers 17, Princeton nothing, Springfield 21, Amherst 7, Trinity of Connecticut 30, Bowdoin 14, Tufts 13, Wesleyan 12, Williams 14, Hamilton 6, and Yale 21, Connecticut nothing. In the South, Auburn 38, Tennessee 28, Bucknell 16, Davidson nothing. The Citadel 17, Furman 16, Duke 21, Duke 21, Virginia 6, East Carolina 20, William & Mary 19, and Florida beat Mississippi State 31-30.
Last week against the Cleveland Browns, Roy Girella hit the football as well as he ever has in his life. He said so himself he was just hitting it so flush that he himself was amazed. Now he's kicked a 32-yarder, and perhaps Roy is staying right in that groove. Right now he's teeing up the football, and if he does as he did last week, it'll end up somewhere deep in the end zone.
Girella started to move forward and stopped. He'll kick off right to left. And he kicks it pretty good. Down to the goal line, taken on the run over there by Ricky Beecher. Steps back to the right. Along the 10, up to the 12, and he's nailed. Reggie Harrison got him along with Jack Delaplane. Harrison and Delaplane caught him at the 12-yard line. Took it on the far side of the field and came up to the 10 and then came back to the right. They give him the 12 and a half, and it's first down 10.
On the opening kickoff of the ball game, Beecher managed to sweep around Jack Delaplane and make it to the sideline and return the ball clear out to the 45. But on two subsequent kickoffs, Jack the hydroplane Delaplane, working in a right lane, mind you, was down there both times to stop Ricky Beecher.
Flanker left, split end to the right. White set in the backfield. And the delayed handoff goes to Cunningham. And Cunningham has lost the football, but it was dead. He was nailed and brought down by Jack Lambert and Jack Ham. The crowd is booing that the ball was dead. Gain of 1 yard. The two clubs have each averaged a little over, slightly over 200 yards rushing in their first two games. New England, I think, realizes it's going to have difficulty coming up the middle on the Steelers. Flag on the play. Roll out. Grogan to the right side. He's scrambling. Now he's running. Trips. He dives forward and goes down at the 12-yard line. Grogan chased out of the pocket, scrambling to the right, started to come forward and dived back to the 12. We had a penalty marker down on the play. Pittsburgh was offside. Joe Green and Jack Lambert covered the quarterback as he dived with the football. So a 5-yard penalty against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That takes the ball out to the 18-yard line.
Well, Joe Green was coming from Grogan's left and L.C. Greenwood from his right. They were about to make a sandwich out of him. So Mr. Grogan did the smart thing and he put his nose in the turf.
They put a man in the slot to the left side. Francis is tight to the right. Now they bring the slot man in motion. That's Stingley all the way to the right. Grogan rolling out left. Grogan throwing upfield, completing the pass to Sam Cunningham at the 25. Scoots to the sideline, goes out at the 30, covered by Mel Blunt. So again, they work just beyond the range of the linebacker. And they use Cunningham as the target. That's his second catch. Grogan has thrown 8 times, completed 3. Cunningham's second catch of the afternoon. New England getting its second first down. First and 10 at the 30.
Grogan is a lanky guy, 6'4" out of Kansas State, a farm boy from Ottawa, Kansas. He's considered to have the tools to make it as a top quarterback.
They shift their slot man back into a regular running back set position. Grogan drops back, now throws to the near side, and it is incomplete. Gerald Stingley coming over to the sideline for the ball got tangled up with J.T. Thomas. Neither one of them could get to the ball, and they went down on the turf. 9 passes tried, 3 of them completed for New England. New England is using Bob McKay at right tackle, alternating with Tom Neville at that position, carrying plays. At times, they use Andy Johnson and Don Calhoun to carry plays from the sideline. Steve Grogan is happy to have the plays called from the sideline. Jim Plunkett's main gripe at New England was that Chuck Fairbanks wanted to call the plays. Plunkett did not like that. He asked to be traded, and they accommodated him. Grogan will pass again. Throwing to the near side, completes the pass at the 34-yard line to Russ Francis. He's driven out of bounds at the 34 on the near side of the field by J.T. Thomas. Short gainer on the pass to Russ Francis, the tight end.
Francis is an interesting fellow. His daddy owns a sugarcane plantation in Hawaii. His daddy used to be a professional wrestler. Russ has wrestled professionally himself. He also flies an airplane. He's studying for his jet pilot's license, mind you. He does a lot of things. He was an Olympic javelin prospect. The Kansas City Royals tried to sign him as a pitcher. A versatile guy, Russ Francis.
Double wing wide, slot man to the left side. We've got Banaszak and Furness in our defensive line. Grogan is hot. He's back. Wowee. Lawrence James blitzing, almost had him, and Steve Furness got him. Caves was in there. Ham was in. As they came with those two linebackers, and Caves made a dive at him and almost had him, missed him, and then he was nailed by Steve Burnett. So we have a consultation. Let's see what it's going to be. The official had marked the ball back at near the 21-yard line. Now they're going to mark one off against the Steelers. So they bring the ball back up to the previous spot at the 34-yard line. Mark off 5 yards. We get defensive holding. That's an automatic first down. New England getting its third first down. Steelers a 5-yard penalty against them. New England 1st and 10 at the Patriots 39.
And that wipes out the first sack of the football game. Warren Taves was really coming. He didn't get the quarterback. Burnett did, but it was Taves' blitz that really shook them up.
New England moving left to right, trailing 10-6. Grogan is back there, firing downfield, and it is incomplete. Wowie, it's Pittsburgh 27. Mike Wagner doing a great job on Russ Francis. Francis was right there, the ball was right there, but Mike Wagner was right there. 6'1", 200-pounder from Western Illinois, a 6-year veteran, and he covered the play perfectly. That would be the 11th pass tried by Grogan.
And in my binoculars, I could just about see Mike Wagner breathe a sigh of relief. He just managed to get a hand in there on that football. That ball was thrown right on the mark.
They send Marlon Briscoe to the left to the far side. They flank Darrell Stingley to the near side. Francis is the tight end. Now they send their wide man in motion, and they give it on the end around a double reverse. The ball being carried by Stingley to the far side. He's hit by Mel Blunt at the 40-yard line. Handoff went to Andy Johnson. In the meantime, Stingley in motion right to left. Took the ball on a double reverse from Johnson to the far side of the field. He carried it to the 40-yard line where he was nailed by Mel Blunt. So it is 3rd down and 9. Holmes and White are back in, replacing Furness and Banaszak. Now we make another switch. Green coming off, Lambert coming off, Russell coming off. And we load it up with pass defenders. Jimmy Allen is in there. Ham and Caves are the only two linebackers. What, 4 men set for the rush and 5 defensive backs. On 3rd and 9. Grogan is deep. Flag goes down. Grogan comes to the right, throws, and the pass is incomplete. Francis got the ball, and Francis was being attacked by Mike Wagner on the tackle. And Francis lost control of the ball. It's incomplete. A holding call against the New England Patriots. 4th down play coming up. Steelers just may get him a shot. Nope. They're going to decline it. Holding is declined. And they want New England to give up the football, and they send Delaplane and Fuqua downfield. And that brings on Mike Patrick, their punter. Line of scrimmage is the 40-yard line, and Patrick will kick left to right. He's standing at his own 25-yard line. The average is 41.7 per kick thus far this season, and he gets away a beauty. High, booming kick. Frenchie takes it at his own 12, up over the 15, the 20, and almost got away, but he was caught and brought down by Jim Romanishin out of Edinburgh State. PA man said Romanishin. He hasn't had as much practice on that as you've given me, J.D. When Romanishin played for Cleveland, J.D. delighted in pointing at his name because I couldn't pronounce it. I've got it now. So the guy from Edinburgh made the tackle. Timeout in the ball game. We'll be right back.
Continuing our rundown of college football from Saturday, we left off in the South. Florida A&M 24, North Carolina A&T 22, Georgia Tech 24, Clemson 24 tie. Kentucky defeated West Virginia 14-10. It was Louisville 37, Drake 34. A tie between NC State and Michigan State 31-31. Richmond blanked VMI 43-0. It was Southern 7, Prairie View A&M 6, and Tennessee Tech 24, Murray State 7. In the Midwest, Akron 24, Youngstown State 3, Ball State 27, Toledo 14, Cincinnati 17, Miami of Ohio 0, Iowa State 47, Kent State 7, Minnesota 21, Western Michigan 10, Notre Dame 48, Northwestern nothing, Ohio University 35, Idaho nothing, San Diego State 27, Bowling Green 15, USC 31, Purdue 13, Wake Forest 13, Kansas State nothing, and Wisconsin outscored Washington State 35-26.
Steelers first and 10 at their own 22.5-yard line. Bradshaw hands it off for a straight-ahead drive by Franco. He'll get a couple of yards, maybe to the 25. Now Lunsford and Richard Bishop make the tackle. Lunsford, 6'3", 250 pounds from Central State. Bishop, 6'1", 275 from Louisville. Gain of a scant 2 yards, second down, and a long 8.
And we had shown Franco with 57 yards going into this series. The official stats show him with 54. Now we give him another. He's got 55. Okay, that's the way it stands.
Bradshaw fumbles the snap. It's loose down on the turf. And New England has recovered. Wowee. Down at the bottom of the play for the New England Patriots, Steve Nelson appeared to be the recovery man. That is the fourth fumble for the Steelers. The fourth fumble given up, and all of them have been in Pittsburgh territory. We're going to pause for station identification.
This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
First down 10 for the New England Patriots. At the Steeler 23, slot left formation. Grogan with a golden opportunity. Hands off. Ball taken by Andy Johnson, trying to move to the right, and he runs into trouble. Joe Green made the stop on him, and he may get a yard out of the play if he tried to slant off the right side. We have Greenwood, Green, Holmes, and White in the front four. Ham, Lambert, and Taves. Taves is out of there now, and Russell is back. Russell's playing with that broken finger, that hand bound. And he said that, as in last week's game, he would go as long as he is effective. If he decides that he cannot do the job with one hand, then he'll get out of there and let Lauren Taves handle it. Andy Russell is that kind of a pro, a smart one. Slot left. Second down 9. Delay. Fake. And here's Grogan throwing. Too high for his catch. Intercepted inside the 10-yard line. Picked off by Glenn Edwards. The pass was intended for Russ Francis. Went into the air. Went off his fingertip. And at the 9-yard line, Edwards came over and made the interception. Tried to stay in bounds, but couldn't. Stepped out of bounds with the ball at the 17-yard line, and the Steelers take over on the first pass interception.
Yeah, Glenn Edwards might have had a long return had he been able to hold his balance. He was tight-roping it down along the sideline and finally went out. Mike Wagner was covering Russ Francis on that play. But Francis is a big guy. He reached up for that football, almost made the catch. The ball popped off his fingertips, though. And here came Glenn Edwards up from behind. It wasn't an easy one for Glenn to grab either. He had to make a little bit of a lunge for it. And perhaps at that point started losing his balance. Otherwise, hoo-wee, up that right sideline, and maybe, just maybe, school's out. Anyhow, the Steelers are glad to have the interception. They'll start at their own 17-yard line, and this game finds the Steelers leading 10-6 midway in the second period. They've had a lot of trouble from a talented New England team, but most of the trouble they've helped cause themselves by giving up the football 4 times on fumbles. One thing you can say for the Steelers, though, today, that is that their defense is playing ball. The defense has been suspect. People beginning to wonder, has the Steeler defense had it? But today they've been tough.
First down 10 for Pittsburgh. Bradshaw giving the ball to Blyer. Blyer finds the opening over the left side, comes up over the 20 and out to the 22-yard line. Working out in front of him that time, he had both Kolb and Webster. Zabel and Nelson made the tackle. New England player is shaken up. That's Steve Zabel. The advance of the football is to the 22-yard line. Late scores in the second quarter. Green Bay 7, Cincinnati 7. Tampa Bay leading Buffalo 6-0. That is the first score Tampa Bay has had in 3 games. Minnesota, Detroit, 0-0 in the second period. We play the Vikings a week from tomorrow night. a Monday night game at Bloomington, Minnesota. So there will be no action next Sunday. We wait until Monday. Steve King, not Zabel injured, and King, the right outside linebacker, gets up and is walking off the field under his own power. That should bring on an old familiar face, George Webster. Webster, who came from the Houston Oilers, I believe, to the Steelers, and then he went on. Where did his path take him from there?
Well, I think he then went to New England, if I recall correctly, and they also have Dickie Kahn, an ex-Steeler, who started the opening game of the season when Tim Fox was injured, and they say did a very nice job subbing for Fox. He also recovered a punt for the New England Patriots last week in the Miami game, recovered a punt on the Miami 2-yard line, so Dickie's been doing quite well with the Patriots. Dickie Kahn, I remember him for having the best-looking girls singing him off from every stadium on the road. They all look like Miss America.
Webster does not come in. Pete Barnes comes in as the fourth linebacker. Bradshaw drops back. He's got time and throws to Blyer coming out of the backfield. It's low. Incomplete at the 24-yard line. Blyer coming out to the near side. Pass was not on the mark. Pete Barnes over to cover. Bradshaw appeared to have lots of time that time. There is a question about the wetness of the day. From our booth, you can't always see the rain. It appeared to have slackened just a bit, but now it's coming down again. You see the umbrellas going up again around the stadium. But undoubtedly, the footing, we've noticed that Grogan has had difficulty with the footing, and Bradshaw apparently is having difficulty with a slick ball. And I said this morning that this could be a day in which the quarterbacks would just have lots of problems with this continual rain. Bradshaw's deep. They're coming after him. The ball slips out of his hands. Just what I was telling you about. Do we recover? No, New England recovers it. Slipped out of Bradshaw's hand and was recovered by Richard Bishop. They had a great rush coming at Bradshaw. He cocked his arm. The ball slipped out of his hands. And we have now had our fifth fumble. All five have gone over to the Patriots, and all of them in Pittsburgh territory.
Well, Richard Bishop and Tony McGee, the defensive end, were coming right down Bradshaw's throat. He cocked his arm, and as Jack told you, the ball simply slipped out of his hand. But I'm not so sure the same result would not have happened anyhow, because those two big guys were bearing down on him in such a way that I think they'd have taken him loose from that football anyhow.
New England Patriots at the Steelers' 7-yard line with a golden opportunity. Two tight ends. Wingman close on the right side. And to give us to Cunningham, he's trying to get outside to the left. It was well played. He's brought down along the 7. His blocker out there was John Hanna. And he was trying to clear out Donnie Shell, and he couldn't do it. Shell came over to make the play. About a half-yard pickup on the play. Jack Lambert refused to be taken out of the play. Neville and McKay are alternating with the play from the sidelines for New England. The ball is at the 6.5-yard line. Second down. This time they're in a double wing. Wingman in both directions. Now they bring the wingman from the left. Stingley in motion to the right. Pitch out to the left side. Cunningham, and he is pushed out of bounds around the 5-yard line. Over on the far side of the field, Andy Russell got him as he tried to turn the corner. And about a foot inside the 5, they marked the football. Just inside the 5. So they pick up 1.5 yards. It's going to be third down and 5 yards to go.
And I don't think he'd have gone that far had Andy Russell not had a busted hand. Andy had to make an arm tackle. He was not able to put his usual good tackle on the ball carrier. Otherwise, the guy is stopped for no gain.
All right, the crowd comes alive. They've got a pair of tight ends. They've got double wingmen. Now they bring the man to the left. Stingley in motion, wide to the right. Here comes Grogan to the right. Grogan's in trouble. Grogan gets rid of the football. Intercepted in the end zone by Mel Blunt. Grogan throwing under great pressure. He was being pursued by the Pittsburgh lineman. John Banaszak almost had him. He threw in the direction of Stingley in the end zone, and Mel Blunt went up in the air for the interception. And the Pittsburgh defense has taken the ball away from New England again.
And what a beautiful interception it was by the defensive player of the year in the National Football Football League last season. Mel Blount going high in the air to spear that ball. The Steelers entered this game ranking 14th and last in the conference in pass defense, would you believe it? So maybe they got a little angry with themselves. They've had 2 interceptions already today.
One intercept in the end zone. Now Bradshaw at the 20, hands off to Blyer, running to the right, cuts back upfield, goes over the 25, and down near the 26-yard line. Richard Bishop makes the tackle. Sam Davis pulling and blocking for Blyer. They will spot the ball at the 25, a 5-yard gain.
And did Sam Phelps, number 34, Prentice McRae, who I might mention, is taking a terrific pacing from Steeler blockers today.
Mel Blount's second interception of the season. Glenn Edwards had one earlier. It's his third. Steelers, 2nd and 5 at their own 25. They move right to left. We're in the second quarter. Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh. Hand off to Blyer, trying to get outside to the right. He turns the corner, fights his way. He fumbles the football at the 20-yard line. And what is the ruling? New England. Blyer fumbles the football at the sideline as he was hit by Steve Nelson, and it is recovered by the New England Patriots at the 32-yard line.
Steve Nelson making another recovery for the Patriots. He's the star of that defense, a linebacker. Rocky actually had made a nice run, fought his way for yardage, but as he went out of bounds, he left the ball lying in bounds. So that's the 6th fumble for the Steelers, and they've turned the ball over all 6 times.
All right, they bring their slot man in motion to the right. That's Stingley. Pitch back to Cunningham. Running to the left. Gallup down over the 30. He fumbles the football, and it is out of bounds, I believe, or no. New England has it. It went out of bounds. He fumbled it. It bounced to the sideline. One of the Steelers tried to knock it and keep it inbounds. Mike Wagner recovered it. But the ruling is the ball was out of bounds. The team with last possession keeps it, and they roll it out of bounds at the 32.5-yard line. It belongs to New England.
Well, frankly, I don't know. It was on the far side of the field, and I didn't have my glasses in place, so I'll take their word for it. Maybe the officials just got tired of turning the football back and forth between the two teams. This is really something today. So we find the Patriots with 2nd down and 10.5 yards to go at the Steelers' 33-yard line. The crowd doesn't like it.
Well, the official was right on it. The ball belongs to New England if it got out of bounds, and he ruled it did. Grogan drops back. Grogan fires to the far side. A diving try incomplete at the Steeler 18. On a little comebacker, Marlon Briscoe curled to the side. Had to come back a little on the ball. Mel Blount was covering. The pass was low for him. He could not handle it, and it fell incomplete. I showed the Patriots with 14 passes, 4 of them completed and 2 intercepted. The Steelers have fumbled 6 times, lost the ball 6 times, always in their own territory. The Patriots have fumbled twice and coughed up 1 of them. Andy Russell out, Marv Kellerman is a linebacker. Here comes Holmes off. Jimmy Allen is in the secondary. It is 3rd, 10.5 for New England at the Pittsburgh 32. Grogan back and looking, firing quickly to the tight end at the 26. Francis down over the 20 and out of bounds at the 19, and he has a first down. Russ Francis, second-year man from Oregon. The tight end, native of Hawaii. At least he comes from Hawaii. Mike Wagner made the play on him. So it is first down, 10 at the 19, and we got timeout on the field, Myron.
And New England trailing 10-6, but driving here, trying to take over the lead. Wild and woolly things happening in this second quarter, with 3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. Jack, they're ready to go.
At the 19-yard line, Grogan looking, throwing to Cunningham, and down at the 14, he goes to the 10 and on to the 9. So they return to the regular pattern. To Cunningham coming out of the backfield. He is tackled by Jack Lambert at the 9-yard line. And that one is going to be close to a first down. The official may call for the 6. Andy Russell comes over to take a look at it. And the ruling is a first down. So that will be number 5 for New England. The 6th pass completed. 3 to Francis and 3 to Cunningham. has the first down. Slot right formation. Grogan faking, rolling, throwing, completing the pass to Johnson on the near side, and he'll get only a yard or two out of the play as Johnson is driven out of bounds by Jack Ham. Andy Johnson getting his first catch of the day. 7 completed out of 17 passes tried on the day. Coming into the ball game, as we told you earlier, Cunningham and Johnson were their top receivers. Johnson had 8, Cunningham had 6. Cunningham has now caught 3, tying him with Johnson at the top of their pass receivers. Francis is up to a total of 7 receptions. Second down. Play action fake. Rolling left. Grogan pumps. Keeps the ball. Gets rid of it and throws it out of bounds. Now there will be no flag, you see. Dwight White had great pressure on the quarterback along with Joe Green. JD's trying to show me intended receivers, and I say there couldn't be any because he almost threw it into the bandstand on the far side of the field. The band isn't even over there. They might have caught it in a tuba. He should be penalized for getting rid of the football.
Well, he got rid of it all right.
Into the Allegheny River.
Lecture me. I know it. I agree with you. Bad Dog White chased him over to the sideline and then dumped him very rudely, and he just wanted to get rid of that football before he took the thumb from the Mad Dog.
Okay, Taves is in there. Allen is in for the Steelers. Lambert and Russell are out. Double wing wide. Now let's see, they got a single setback. Give them a wide slot to the right side. Grogan back. Grogan looking. Grogan throwing, and it is broken up in the end zone by J.T. Thomas, intended for Russ Francis. They had double coverage on him, and J.T. went up in the air and knocked the ball away. And now Francis is protesting. He wants pass interference. He is getting a word in. What he was saying to the official is Akalakaku Aloha. Mamona Carney.
He's probably saying the guy was holding me. Anyhow, it was a heck of a play by J.T. Thomas.
A great
he
play.
Really had to get up in the air.
All right, Smith trying for his 3rd field goal of the day from the 16-yard line, a 26-yard attempt. Patrick, the holder. He's a left-footed sidewinder, and he kicks it. A 26-yard field goal is good. The score is 10-9 in favor of the Steelers. We'll be right back.
Let's finish up the college scoreboard from Saturday. We left off in the Southwest. SMU defeating North Texas State 38-31. Texas Tech 20, New Mexico 16. Tulsa 9, Arkansas 3. In the West, Brigham Young 23, Arizona 16. California 31, Arizona State 22. Colorado 33, Miami of Florida 3. Colorado State 24, Wichita State 3. Fresno State 24, Montana State 10. Idaho State 27, Nevada, Reno 22. Indiana 20, Washington 13. Long Beach State 37, Northern Illinois nothing. Nevada, Las Vegas 33, Weber State 16. Oregon 21, Utah 13. Pacific 21, Hawaii 12. Santa Clara 45, Hayward 19. Stanford 28, San Jose State 23, and Wyoming defeated Utah State 20-3.
Kick off to Delaplane at the goal line, out over the 10, the 15, the 20, driving up to the 25. There's a fumble loose. Nope, he's got the football down at the 27-yard line. Delaplane, 27-yard return, and the tackle made by Jim Romanishin. On the return to the goal line, out to the 27-yard line. And it is first down 10 for the Steelers. 2:20 to play in the first half. Tony McGee, Richard Bishop, Julie Adams in their front 3. Zabel, Nelson, Hunt, and King are the linebackers. Howard and Haynes on the corners. McRae and Fox are the safeties. Bradshaw quarterbacking the Steelers. Bradshaw drops back. Bradshaw throws, and he hits his target up at the 31-yard line. That was Rocky Blair coming out of the backfield and across at the 31-yard line. Steve Nelson tackled him around the neck. But there's a gain of about 5 yards on the play, and Blair catches his first pass of the day.
And Bradshaw is now 6 for 8. If he can dispense with the fumble, he's fumbled twice today, why he'll be having a pretty good day. Steelers football continues after this timeout.
All of this cues a turnover is fine. Pittsburgh today, they're very, very lucky to be leading here with 2 minutes to go in the first half, 10-9. New England very well could have scored 3 touchdowns plus a couple of field goals and be way out in front. Other games underway at the end of one period. Minnesota leads Detroit 6-0. Minnesota will meet the Pittsburgh Steelers a week from this Monday. Here's a surprise. First period, one of the expansion teams, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, lead Buffalo and O.J. Simpson 6-0. Tampa Bay 6, Buffalo nothing at the end of one period. In the second period, all tied up, Green Bay 7 and Cincinnati 7. For the first time since 1964, the New York Yankees were able to enjoy the taste of victory champagne Saturday night. The Yanks finally clinched the American League East title with the help of Louis Tiant and the Boston Red Sox. The Yankees won an afternoon game from the Detroit Tigers by 10-6 score as Thurman Munson and Chris Chambers homered. That clinched at least a tie for New York, with their magic number at 1.
Okay, the Steelers have 2 minutes to march downfield and perhaps get a score if they can hold on to the football. They're only 4 away from the all-time Steeler 2 away from the all-time Steeler fumble record. J.D. Fogarty tells me.
Second down 5 at the 31-yard line. Back goes Bradshaw. He's deep. Bradshaw throwing. Randy Grossman wants it, but it's broken up at the 45-yard line. Coming over, 2 men. Dennis McCray got his hand on the ball, and Steve King had come in behind. And the pass is broken up on a neat defensive play. We are a little off. We have either 6 of 9 or 5 of 8 passing for Bradshaw. We'll check that out at halftime. No problem. I show Lewis with a catch, Grossman with a pair of catches, Swann with 1, and Blyer with 1. Well, I may have one floating out there somewhere. This has been the type of ball game where you spend more time writing down what's happening than you do looking at it. 6 fumbles for Pittsburgh, all 6 lost. George Webster is in there now for the first time. Hand off to Blyer. Blyer breaks the tackle at the line of scrimmage, runs to the right, is up over the 35 and onto the 36. Good effort that time. Zabel and Moore making the stop. And the Steelers have a first down. Or do they? Well, they're short. At the 36-yard line. They're about a half yard away from the first down. That brings on Bobby Walden. In that kind of an afternoon, the Patriots have scored on 3 field goals. It's a 10-9 ball game. Bobby Walden standing at his own 22-yard line. He's had his share of trouble. He must have snapped, tried to pick it up, and that was one of the fumbles. Walden at his own 23 now. Gets the snap and gets the punt away to the near side. Caught at the 20-yard line. Mike Haynes running to the left, up over the 25, the 30. And at the 33, he is down. He has fumbled the football. New England has recovered. Little by-play down on the field. Reggie Harrison made the tackle along with Johnny Fuqua. And they are ruling that was a dead ball. That was not a fumble. And on the Monday night game, the camera showed distinctly how the officials can guess at that and not see it. And that may have cost Kansas City a ball game. Because a fumble that the camera showed was actually a bona fide fumble. Steelers had an ineligible man downfield. It is declined by New England. In the situation where the ball was ruled dead, it was actually, the camera showed it was actually a fumble. And Kansas City recovered it, but was not given the ball, and went on to lose that ball game by the margin of the field goal, wasn't it? Slot left formation. Here's a draw. Carrying a Johnson comes through the middle, up over the 35 and onto the 36-yard line. He lost the football somewhere in there, but it was dead. Banaszak is waving it. Green and Banaszak on the tackle. And gain of about 3 yards, second down 7.
Now, of course, the reason the Patriots declined that penalty is they got the big return. Well, a 13-yard return, which is a good one from Haynes. They want the ball.
Grogan is deep. Grogan is firing. There's his man on the near side of the field. It was juggled out of bounds. Dale Stingley. Stingley came down inbounds, but he did not have possession. So he did not get possession of the football until he was out of bounds, incomplete. He laid the ball down behind the Steeler bench area. Or did he? The ball laying down there. Now they got another one out on the field. Incomplete pass. Stingley played his college ball at Purdue in his 4th year in the league. This is an extremely young team. They calculate an average age of about 25. It may be the youngest in the NFL overall. Grogan, back. Grogan throwing to the far side, and it is too high for Darryl Stingley at the Pittsburgh 47-yard line. On the sideline, he leaped for the ball. Mike Wagner came over a little late. Pass was incomplete. Grogan has thrown 21 times in his first half. Mike Patrick is on the punt. Green Bay and Cincinnati are 7-7 in the second quarter. All-important game for the Steelers. Downfield, Delaplane and Fuqua for Pittsburgh. Patrick will stand at his own 21-yard line. Delaplane and Fuqua are equally deep near the Pittsburgh 20. The snap and the punt. High and spiraling. Delaplane will go for it at the 25, up over the 30, the 35, the 40, and is brought down coming forward at the 43-yard line. Delaplane on the return up to the 43-yard line, where the New England Patriots managed to bring him down. Down at the bottom of that play, Fred Sturt, and helping out on it, Al Chandler. Ball marked at the 43.5 with 38 seconds, 1st and 10, Pittsburgh.
And if Delaplane goes outside to the sideline, I think he gets a much better return even, and perhaps puts Girella in field goal position very quickly. There are 38 seconds remaining in the first half. Steelers at their own 44.
They just put the passing up. Both of us were wrong. It's 9 and 5. Tried 9 and completed 5 for 31 yards.
Right.
Bradshaw is deep. Bradshaw throwing to Blair out to the left, coming out of the backfield at the 45. He gets out of bounds at the 48. Rocky, you can just see him thinking, looking at the opportunity as Steve King came up on him and measuring whether he should try to take it further or get out of bounds, and he did at the 48-yard line. Now that is the 10th pass, the 6th completed, and Blair gets his second catch of the day. Clock shows 31 seconds to play in the first half. Pittsburgh leading 10-9. I like this much better than trailing 14-0. Bradshaw backpedaling. The big guy comes forward. He runs. He's at the 50, the 45. He runs into people at the 40 and goes down at the New England 38-yard line. The umpire was standing there thinking about something. He may have been wondering if you could get out of Pittsburgh on the first flight or whether the weather would hold him in, and he almost got creamed by Bradshaw. At the last moment, he saw Bradshaw coming, and like a man escaping from an express train, he moved. And Terry took it down to the 38, where Nelson and Hunt came in on him like a vice and brought him to the turf. Timeout, Pittsburgh.
Well, people worry about Bradshaw getting hurt when he's running with the football. I've often said you better worry about the guys he's running into. And that time, those two big linebackers converged on him, and Terry put his shoulder in there, and he gave it the extra effort, and he split those two guys. And with help, they managed to bring him down at the New England 38-yard line, but he picked up a few extra yards by just muscling those two big linebackers. So don't always feel sorry for Terry when he's running with that football. He's a horse himself. The Steelers have now moved into scoring position, hoping to fatten their 10-9 lead. They've got 20 seconds remaining. That's time for a few more plays and then the field goal. Bradshaw, so far today, has not thrown the ball. Well, one time he attempted it early in the game to Frank Lewis and overthrew him, but that was the only time Bradshaw has gone deep, and that's a little unusual for Terry. Here we go at the 38 of New England.
At the 38-yard line, first down, 10 yards to go. Bradshaw with the ball. Bradshaw has time to throw. Does to Blair on the far side, coming out of the backfield at the 32. Blair heads to the sideline and gets out of bounds at the New England 24-yard line. Rocky Blair shoots the ball, and like a bullet, chased by Steve Zabel. He headed for the sideline, and he went out of bounds. Blair getting his third catch of the day. Rocky came into this ball game with 3 catches in 2 games. He's had that many on the afternoon. What a play that time as he went to the sideline. Quickly, they had moved the ball to the 24. They had 13 seconds. Bradshaw 7 for 11 for 49 yards. You got one more shot here before you got to get into field goal kicking time. Here's Bradshaw going for the end zone. There goes Swann. He can't just off his fingertip. Swann had his man beaten, and that one was beat. Dennis McRae was beaten, and what a great effort by Swann. He was almost to the end line when he got his fingers on it. It was just off his fingertips, and that effort by Bradshaw and Swann deserves some applause. Believe me. Just a great effort. A fine pass and a fine effort. Here comes Girella. Roy Girella, earlier today, kicked a 32-yard field goal. This will be a 41-yard attempt from the 31-yard line, and Walden is the holder. 7 seconds remaining on the clock. Ball is down. Girella kicks it. And it is good. 41-yard shot for Roy Girella. Steelers move out to a 13-9 lead in a ball game, Myron, that I think is just plain interesting.
Well, it's interesting, all right, when you have 9 turnovers in the first half, 6 by the Steelers, all on fumbles, and the Patriots giving up the ball 3 times, once on a fumble, twice on interception. But as I said before, when Roy Girella boomed one, I said, he has been hitting that football real good since last week, and he's brought his rate to the ballpark last Sunday and this Sunday. Now he has another one up on the board, a 41-yarder to give the Steelers a 13-9 lead. Actually, it should be a little bigger lead because on that third down pass that Bradshaw rifled down the middle into the end zone, Swann had to reach for it, but it was very catchable, no question about it. But say this for Swann, he has been out of action since early in the Oakland game when Atkinson banged him on the head and knocked him out. So he's a little rusty. Ordinarily, I think Lynn Swann eats that football up in the end zone, and the Steelers have 6 and then an extra point for 7, and they're leading by more than they would be now with Girella's field goal. What the heck? You take what you can get, and as Jack said, this is better than trailing the Cleve Brownies as the Steelers did last week, 14-0 at halftime. Instead, they're leading the Patriots 13-9. If they can get it together in the second half, and by getting it together, I mean getting the football together with their arms, why, who knows what'll happen. But right now, it's still a ball game.
Ricky Beecher is deep. Girella kicks right to left. And he kicks one twisting and sailing down to Beecher at the 8 on the run to the far side of it. The 10-15 gets out of bounds at the 18-yard line. Beecher gets out of bounds at the 18, but not in time. He did not beat the gun. Well, let's say he did beat the gun. He did not beat the time clock. So he took it out of bounds, and that brought us down to the end of the first half in which Pittsburgh fumbled the ball 6 times in its own territory, and the Patriots recovered all 6 times, in which the Patriots threw 2 interceptions and coughed up 1 of 2 fumbles to the Steelers. It's been a good ball game on an overcast and drizzly day here at Three Rivers Stadium. We're at the end of the first half with a score. Pittsburgh 13, New England 9. Myron Cope will comment on the first half.
He's for only 8 yards, so you can see that the Steelers...
From the southern portion of our network, Taylor Runner and his dog Toby just gave a great performance. That's an institution in Morgantown.
Is that the same hack that they have down there?
That's the same hack that
that's the first time I ever saw it was down here. I didn't know it was the same guy.
All right, Bradshaw ready to move. First down and 10. Ball spotted at the 26. Handoff goes to Franco. Hits into the left and then tries to cut back, and I don't think he got anything. Really pouring rain now. The footing is not likely to get better. Julie Adams making the stop for the New England Patriots. Richard Bishop is playing that nose tackle position in their 3-man rush. Mel Lunsford and Toby McGee have been switching, and McGee is back in on the left end. I guess you call them all tackles, actually. A nose tackle and 2 other tackles. Bradshaw's back. Boy, did he fire one. Beautiful. Up to the 42 to Frank Lewis. Mike Haynes came in and stopped Lewis. Bradshaw gave him a look to the right. He telegraphed to the right and then came back to the left, and Lewis was right there on a hook at the 42, kneeling to take the ball and to stop on the spot. It's the first down.
Well, Sam Hunting, New England linebacker, was moving across the middle to try to bat that down, and Terry had to really drill it, and he did just that.
Lewis, the second catch of the day. First and 10. Bradshaw back to throw again. Now he lobs one down on the far side. Swann goes 40, has it at the 10-yard line. Lynn Swann. Wowie. He beat Bob Howard and Jim Fox. Howard brought him down. Bradshaw just laid it up there for Swann, and Swann ran under the ball, beat the defensive man, pulled it in the air at the 13, and was knocked down. It was spotted at the 11, first down.
44 yards, I do believe, or thereabouts. That's the Lynn Swann we know and love. You betcha. He got up in the air for that football, actually took it around his midsection, but he was giving the defensive back no chance. He was going up with the ball and coming down with it.
Oh, the rain is pouring at Three Rivers. Slot right formation. Bradshaw back again. Bradshaw looking, drilling it down to the 3-yard line. Wow, he spotted Randy Grossman. He had looked twice, and he drilled one to Grossman down on his knees. Sam Hunt covered Grossman. They will spot it at the 2-yard line. And that is a yard short of a first down.
And this is just the way the Steelers began the ball game with their first drive, playing flawlessly. Bradshaw has now passed for 10,000 yards in his career and is the first Steeler to ever reach this mark.
All right, Lewis and Swann out. We have two tight ends. Grossman's the wingback on the right side at the 2-yard line. Now they bring Randy Short in motion, and they send Franco through there. Grossman, the wingback, came about 3 steps in motion and cut right in over the tackle position to block for Franco, and Franco took the handoff and followed Randy Grossman in there and right in for the TD. Beautifully executed power play. The Steelers have gone on the board. Franco has scored his second touchdown, and it is a 19-9 ball game. Girella is on. Bobby Walden holding at the 10-yard line. At the goal line to our left. The ball is down. Girella kicks it, and it is good. The Steelers lead the ball game 20-9. Timeout on the field. We'll be right back.
Muhammad Ali says he'll abandon his float like a butterfly, sting like a bee technique and stand toe-to-toe with Ken Norton in Tuesday night's heavyweight title bout at Yankee Stadium. And the champ predicts he'll win by knockout before the 5th round. However, if Norton fails to fall within 5 rounds, Ali admits he'll be in trouble and possibly lose the bout. Ali's strategy is dictated primarily by 2 facts. Norton is a notoriously slow starter, and that Ali believes his punching power is better than ever. Ali won a controversial split decision the last time he fought Norton back in September of 1973, but the champ pointed out his hands were shot full of Novocaine just before the fight. Ali claims he couldn't feel his punches when he hit Norton, and therefore was unable to follow up his opportunities with good combinations. Now Ali says he's in the best shape of his life. He's going to walk to Norton, stand still, and bang with his power.
Steelers with 74 yards in 5 plays, and now Girella kicks off right to left. Ricky Feature, 1 yard in the end zone. Back out over the 5, the 10, the 15, the 20, the 25, the 30, the 35, and he is up to the 38-yard line. Caught and brought down by Marv Kellum. He broke a couple of tackles there. Getting up slowly is Boobie Harrison. And he may be shaken up on the play. He could have had the first contact. And Reggie coming off very slowly. But that return was for 39 yards from a yard deep in the end zone.
I believe it was Harrison who did reach out and make the first contact, but obviously was unsuccessful and got shaken up a little bit in the process. They're helping him to the bench.
Slot left formation. Handoff goes to Cunningham, and he finds an opening, and he comes forward over the 45 to the 46-yard line. Sam Cunningham, the ball carrier. Jack Ham and Mike Wagner stop him at the New England 46, and the Patriots pick up 8 yards on the carry.
You know, the Steelers, for their 2 touchdowns today, marched 80 and 74 yards. 2 very nice drives, which make you lose the taste a little bit of those 6 fumbles.
Slot right formation. Andy Johnson, flag down, turns the corner running to the left. He gets to the 50 and is dragged out of bounds by Jack Lambert at the Pittsburgh 46. comes the signal. Offside, Pittsburgh. Surely New England's not going to take that. They have a first down at the 46, and they'll have to decline it. It is declined. That is the 6th first down. Nice run. I think Harrison, in trying to make that tackle, got kicked. Not a knee. I don't think he's seriously hurt, but he is in discomfort. Slot left for New England. They move left to right in the third quarter. Grogan hands off inside, and the big guy, Cunningham, now drives down close to the 40-yard line. Dwight White on the tackle. It's marked the ball back at the 41-yard line, a 5-yard gain on the play. Now they're trying the middle again. They've tried it in the first half without success, and this will give them an opportunity to probe a little and possibly set up those two running backs for some of those shots. Short ones coming out of the backfield. We'll see. This time we've got Briscoe to the right, Stingley to the left, and they give us to Johnson. And Johnson loops into the middle of the line. He does not have a first down, but he's taken the ball down to the 37.5-yard line. Ernie Holmes gets the tackle. 5-year veteran from Texas Southern. After fining 2 Oakland Raiders for rough play, the National Football League, after looking at the movies, mysteriously came up with a fine which they levied on Holmes. He was so upset over it the other day when I talked to him. He was lying on the dressing room floor sleeping before practice. That's how upset he was about the whole thing.
Well, to the best of my knowledge, they fined him for a forearm that missed. He went over a running back, and the forearm was in motion, but it missed the guy, and apparently they didn't like Ernie's intention, and were looking for another Steeler to make it 2-2, balance off the fine. 2 Steelers and 2 Raiders.
Right.
I don't know. It's guessing, but, Pete Rozelle, people criticize him, but and they tend to forget. In fact, a lot of the people in football tend to forget how much he's done for the National Football League. How he made it a lucrative going operation in the television age. And, golly, maybe a suspension of Atkinson would have been the thing that was called for. I'm sorry about that, you armed forces guys from Oakland, but it was a brutal hit that he laid on Lynn Swann. Maybe a suspension would have been the proper penalty, and yet Rozelle did hand him the toughest fine he's ever handed out, $1,500, the biggest fine ever put on a player. And that took a little nerve, especially since Oakland Al Davis is aligned with Carol Rosenblum of the Rams in an anti-Rozelle force. These are difficult times for Czar Petrovich Rozelle. But anyhow, back to this ball game. It's still timeout down in the field, and the Patriots will be third and a long yard at the Steelers' 37-yard line. It's 10 minutes and 2 seconds remaining in the third period. The Steelers leading 20-9.
Pete Brock has replaced Marlon Briscoe, and they're lined up in a tight formation with 2 tight ends, Brock to the left. Now they bring their wingman, Darrell Stingley, in motion to the right, give the ball to Cunningham, and he is nailed. He tried to get off left tackle, and he ran into Ernie Holmes. Wowie. Boy, did they nail him. Cunningham trying to slip off left tackle. They brought the flow of the play to the right, sent Cunningham back to the left. And they stop him at the 38-yard line, about a yard loss on the play, and New England's looking at 3rd and 2. Now we're going to get the, it's 4th down and 2. They're going to go for it. And the Steelers deploy. Up close, look out for the pass. Again, the wingback in motion to the right. And play action fake. And there's the open man in the pass down to the 32. The tight end, Francis, is going all the way for a touchdown. Francis caught the ball at the 32. Galloped down the far side of the field, across the 10. And ran over one man at the goal line, Mike Wagner, and went in for the touchdown. They pulled the entire Steeler defense up close. They slipped the tight end out beyond, over to the far side to the left, hit him with a perfect strike, and he went in for the TD. You could almost smell it coming. Wowie. Cunningham, or rather Francis, getting his second touchdown catch of the season. The extra point try now. At the 10-yard line, John Smith with Patrick holding. He puts it up. It is good. The Patriots are on the board with a TD. The score is 20-16. We're going to pause for station identification.
This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
Steelers football continues after this timeout.
Well, the start of today's National Football League game between the Minnesota Vikings and Detroit Lions was delayed when the Vikes got caught in a traffic jam and did not reach Pontiac Stadium in Detroit until 10 minutes before the scheduled start. The Vikings face a possible fine for the National Football League for causing the start of the game to deviate from its announced time of 1 p.m. Eastern Time. In baseball, today's American League game between the Chicago White Sox and the Oakland A's has been postponed because of rain and wet ground. A Chicago White Sox spokesman says the game will not be made up unless it has bearing on the outcome of the American League West Division Championship. Oakland is 5 games back of Kansas City in that race with 7 games to go, including today's rainout. Meanwhile, Texas is hosting Kansas City. That game is just getting underway. Milwaukee at Cleveland also rained out. Ditto for New York and Detroit.
Remember, after T. Bell is into the receiving group. Fuqua, Delaplane, and Bell are down deep. And here's the kickoff by Smith. Down to Delaplane at the goal line. Out over the 5, the 10, the 15, the 20. Needs some help. He breaks to the sideline. They get him from behind at the 25-yard line. He needed a good block in there and couldn't pick up the one he wanted. And the tackle will go to Jet Phillips. Phillips came over to New England from the Oakland Raiders when they needed to pick up some running back talent, and he made the tackle.
And I might point out that touchdown by New England came on a debatable call by Chuck Fairbanks, a gamble. That's for sure a 4th and 2 play, and the Steelers committed their only major defensive lapse of the day.
Bradshaw is back to throw. Steps forward. Now he's going for Swann deep again. Swann can't get it. Throws it up. At the New England 23-yard line, Bob Howard covered him step for step. Howard is a 10-year veteran from San Diego State, and he played that one very well, going with Swann all the way downfield, and if anybody had a chance of catching it, Howard had the best chance, but he broke it up, an incomplete pass. 16 tried by Bradshaw. He has completed 10. Randy Grossman has caught 3 of them. Swann has caught 2, one of them for about 47 yards. Lewis has caught a pair. Rocky Blyer caught 3. All of them of the relatively short variety in a drive that eventually carried the Steelers down deep into New England territory. 2nd down 10. Pittsburgh at its own 25, leading 20-16. Good ball game. Bradshaw giving to Franco, has a blocker, comes off the left side, the 25, the 30, up the sideline, and finally is forced out of bounds on the near side of the field at the 35-yard line. Mike Webster blocking that time, along with Rocky Blyer. And Franco down his way to the sideline and advances the ball to the 35, a first down for Pittsburgh.
So what does that give Franco? Let's see if we can pin that down. I believe he'll have 67 yards now in this ball game.
Franco got away from both George Webster and Dick Kahn on that play. Pointed out that he's off to a fast start this year. In previous years, often slowed down at the beginning by minor injuries coming out of training camp, and this year he has been in good physical form. Bradshaw's back again. Bradshaw wants to pass, and he gets rid of it just as they hit him from behind. Swann's down there in the crowd, and they can't hold it. At the 25, they have triple coverage on him. Mike Haynes, along with a linebacker, all down there.
Dickie Kahn helping McRae out on Swann, and Swann almost brought off the catch. It would have been super.
Steve Nelson was in that group. He was within reaching distance of 3 people. Again, the pass was right on the mark, but there was a crowd there waiting. 2nd down 10. No action next Sunday. a week from Monday night with Bloomington, Minnesota, to play the Minnesota Vikings. 20-16 in favor of the Steelers. 8:49 to play in the third quarter. Bradshaw pitching back to Blyer, and Blyer is caught short, running to the right side, and good penetration. Penalty marker is down on the play. Tackle made by Steve Nelson and Sam Hunt. Running out of the eye, they pitched it to Blyer, the tailback, and New England penetrated. Let's see what the call will be. Ball has been marked down at the 33-yard line, and the Patriots will get the choice. Steve Nelson, their defensive captain, is being consulted. So here comes the signal. Holding against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Declined by the New England Patriots. So the ball will be marked at the, they're actually putting the nose of it up near the 34, 3rd and 11.
And they called the holding penalty on tight end Randy Grossman.
Now they go to 4 men in their forward wall. 4 down linemen. Bradshaw backs up. Bradshaw pumps twice, then throws, intending it for Franco, and he has to trap it at the 29. Franco is down on his knees. Good rush that time on Bradshaw. Mel Lunsford and Arthur Moore were both in there, and Bradshaw unloaded it to Franco on the near side. And it's an incomplete pass. Pittsburgh 20, the New England Patriots 16. And New England is going deep with Mike Haynes. Up receiver, Dick Kahn to the left. And to the right, Darrell Stingley. Bobby Walden standing at his own 20-yard line. Haynes waiting down around his own 29. Snap to Walden. And Walden gets away a high, booming kick. Haynes backs up to the 14. Comes back out to the 20. And then is hit at the 23 in gang tackle. Penalty marker down somewhere downfield. The return will be to the 24-yard line. And the contact made by Donnie Shell. Lauren Taves was down there, Marv Kellum was down there, and Johnny Fuqua was down there. So again, we have the penalty pending. And the officials confer. Personal foul, clipping against the New England Patriots. So the official getting ready to mark one off against New England. Picks the ball up at the 24-yard line, and he's going to take it half the distance back. He's marking off a full 15 all the way back to the 7. Takes it back to the 7-yard line.
It's a 51-yard kick by Bobby Walton. He went into this game ranking as the 4th best punter in the American Football Conference. He's off to a great start.
First penalty against the Patriots. J.D. points out that Shell was the man who was split, and he made the tackle. And here's a broken play. Keeping the ball, Grogan is nailed at the 5-yard line. His running back, Cunningham, stumbled as he started forward. Grogan kept the ball and was nailed by L.C. Greenwood and Jack Cam. At the 5-yard line, 2-yard loss on the play, 2nd down 12. Clock turning, 8 minutes to play in the third quarter. Steelers leading the Patriots 20-16. McKay back and Neville off the field with the play from Chuck Fairbanks. Stingley to the left, Briscoe to the right. Running backs Johnson and Cunningham. Quarterback Grogan. Grogan goes back into the end zone and flips one out into the left flat area to Cunningham, in and out of his arms at the 5-yard line. Cunningham was the receiver, couldn't hold it. Andy Russell up the cover on the play. 25 passes tried by Grogan. He has completed 8. Came into this ball game this afternoon with an outstanding percentage, 57.1. The Patriots, on the other hand, had given up 61.8 to the opposition. Steelers have completed 10 of 18. Russell is out, Taves is in, Jimmy Allen is in, Lambert is out. 3rd down 12. Man in the slot on the right side. Wide set for the running back. And Grogan is in the end zone. He's being chased. And he gets rid of the football upfield, and it is caught at the 24-yard line. Russ Francis came back on the ball in front of Jimmy Allen. Caught it, and is brought down at the 24 by Allen. So again, Grogan scrambling until he could shake a man loose downfield. Great pursuit on him by Banaszak and Ham, but they could not get to him. They had him trapped. He got rid of the football and hits Francis, and Francis has been a prime target today.
Yes, Grogan ran to his right, clear into the corner, the back corner of the end zone, and Jack Ham unloaded on him, belted him terrifically hard, but he had just gotten rid of the football and had it on the money.
Francis has now caught 5 passes on the afternoon. Gives to Cunningham, running to the left, gets away from Russell, runs into Blunt, and Blunt drives him out of bounds on the far side of the field at the 31-yard line. Good strong pickup on the play, about 7 yards. As Sam Cunningham is the ball carrier, slanting to the far side of the field, picks up 7. It's going to be 2nd down 3.
Andy Russell, with 2 good hands, makes that tackle in his 3. And you can tell that Andy just hasn't got the equipment down there because no way they would have gained ground on that play had Andy Russell not had a busted mitt.
Slot left formation. And the give is to Cunningham again. And he has the first down, except the penalty marker went down on the play against New England. Andy Russell made the stop. Francis came into this ball game with 4 catches, 24 yards. He now has 5 catches for 92 yards on the afternoon. They're getting ready to mark one off against the New England Patriots. Halftime, Cincinnati has taken a 14-7 lead over Green Bay. In the second period, Tampa Bay leads Buffalo 6-0. Got a 5-yard penalty for illegal motion against New England, takes the ball back to the 26.
And the Oakland Raiders in the second period leading the Houston Oilers 7-6. So now we see the Patriots back at their own 27-yard line.
2nd down and about 8 yards to go. They send Briscoe to the left and bring Stingley to the right as the flanker. Grogan calling the signals. Johnson and Cunningham are the running back. And Grogan wants to pass. Grogan throwing to the near side. There's Francis. He loses the ball at the 35-yard line. Francis, a step in front of Jack Ham, slanting to the sideline. Had the pass right on the money. Did not hold it. It was good for a first down had he held on to it. Calculated to give them the first down. And I think it's safe to say they've changed their game plan and they're going more to the tight end today than they have in their previous 2 encounters.
Well, he's a good man, Russ Francis. You want to use him. I remember when he played for the College All-Stars against the Steelers in the summer of 1975, and you can see then that he was a good ball player. That time he beat Ham, and Ham was running along behind him, probably yelling, "Please drop that, Russ. Please drop it." So
Lambert and Russell are out of there, and James and Allen are in for pass defense purposes. Slot right. Grogan back. Grogan throwing, and it is caught on the near side of the field at the 40-yard line. Andy Johnson tiptoes, but his momentum takes him out of bounds at the 41.5-yard line. He beat Jimmy Allen on this side of the field. Made a nice catch and tried to tiptoe on the sideline, couldn't stay in, and went out at the 41.5. New England with its 10th first down, 28 passes tried. That is the 10th one completed. And for Johnson, that is his 2nd catch of the afternoon. Ball marked in at the near inbounds marker. They deploy. Marlon Briscoe to the far side of the left. They put Stingley in the slot over there. Grogan on 1st and 10. Play action fake. Back to throw to the far side. Got a man going down the sideline, and he hits him in Steeler territory. That is Stingley, and he's in there for a touchdown. Stingley tripping along the sideline. We could not tell if he stayed in bounds. He took the ball around the 15-yard line and stayed in bounds. Mel Blunt and J.T. Thomas over covering on the play, and he galloped into the end zone, and the Patriots have taken the lead.
You betcha. Stingley down the left sideline. He beat Mel Blunt. A touchdown play covering 59 yards. Grogan unloading. J.T. Thomas coming over there trying to help out Mel Blunt, but Blunt was beaten, and Stingley took that ball and walked the chalk on the far side of the field to give the Patriots the lead 22-20 with 6 minutes and 22 seconds remaining in the third period.
All right, the try for the point. John Smith Ball is down. Smith kicks it. It is good. So on a beautiful pass play covering 48.5 yards downfield, the Patriots have taken a 23-20 lead over the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, I'll tell you, the Steeler defense has been just super in the first half of overcoming those 6 fumbles by the offense, but in the second half, they haven't been all that tough. The Patriots that time, well, they had started back at their own 7-yard line, let's remember. So in all, they drove 93 yards for that score. The big play being the 59-yard touchdown throw, Grogan to Stingley. And, you know, there were several close calls for New England. The time that Grogan, running to his right into the corner of the end zone, fired the pass just as Jack Ham cracked into him, but he completed it. You've got to look back and say that was a big play. And then the time, as I told you, when it appeared to me that Andy Russell failed to stop a sweep to the left, probably because he just doesn't have good use of one of his hands. These little things hurt the Steelers on that drive by New England, and so we find the New York Patriots are for real. They're leading in this ballgame 23-20. Last week they whipped the Miami Dolphins 30-14. They mean business.
New England out in front 23-20, and the kickoff sailing down the middle. Delaplane under it at the 1-yard line, out over the 5, the 10, the 15, the 20, the 25, the 30, and ridden down at the 34-yard line. Dennis McCray, the first man to get to Jack Delaplane. Patriots win 93 yards in 7 plays, starting at their own 7-yard line. And that's moving the football with some kind of speed. 23-20 in favor of New England. Frank Lewis and Lynn Swann are the wide receivers. Randy Grossman is the tight end. Bradshaw the quarterback. Bradshaw giving the ball to Blyer. Blyer on a sweep to the left side. Cuts behind his blocker, and he'll pick up a good strong 6 yards. Mike Webster blocking. Clearing the way for Blyer, and Blyer came in behind him and advances the ball to the 41-yard line. Sam Hunt and Steve Nelson teaming up on the stop for the New England Patriots, and it's a 7-yard gain, 2nd down 3. Lunsford, Bishop, and Adams up front. Zabel, Nelson, Hunt, and King are the linebackers. Howard and Hames on the corners. Dennis McCray and Dick Kahn are the safeties. 2nd down and 3 yards to go. Slot left formation. Got Swann in the slot to the short side. And the give is to Franco, and there's very little yardage to gain. He is hit at the line of scrimmage, leans forward for maybe a yard, and Mel Lunsford is right in underneath of that play. And Steve Nelson, backing him up well, comes up out of there. The ball is at the 42-yard line, making it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
And what do you do here? Well, I wouldn't be surprised to see Bradshaw throwing. He's out there at his own 42-yard line.
Ray Penny has replaced Jerry Mullins at right tackle for the Steelers. Bradshaw goes back. Bradshaw has time, and he fires to Grossman at the 48-yard line, and Grossman continues to fight along the 48 and is brought down. Randy Grossman coming off that tight end spot, and across along the 48-yard line. Takes another pass. Steve King makes the tackle. Bradshaw's 19th pass. His 11th completed, and Grossman catching his 4th of the day. Tight ends have been great targets. They spot the ball at the 49, 1st and 10. Steelers 14th first down. Shifting Franco a step to the right. Pitch out to Franco. He looks for an opening. They're after him, trying to get outside. They got him back at the 45-yard line. No protection. Bob Howard and Steve Nelson in pursuit of Harrison. Nowhere for him to go, with the New England defense swarming after him. And they're marking the ball back up to the 46, and that's a generous move. They knocked him down at the 45.
Well, they were there to meet Franco on the sweep, but still in all, if he doesn't stop and do a little dancing in place trying to figure out alternatives, he at least gets back to the line of scrimmage. Instead, as it was, he loses 3 yards.
Tony McGee comes in as an extra lineman, replacing linebacker Sam Hunt. 4 down linemen for the New England Patriots. Slot left formation for Pittsburgh. Bradshaw fakes to Blyer. He's back to throw. They're coming after him. Throws up to the New England 45 to Grossman. Kneeling, taking the ball, and stopped by Steve Nelson. Grossman hooking at the 45 and kneeling to take the ball. Is stopped there. 20th pass by Bradshaw, but 12th completed. And Grossman has now caught 3 in a row.
And the rookie, Ray Penny, is clearly holding on the play, clutching a guy by the shirt who's going down Bradshaw's throat. But I'm not going to tell the officials because they didn't see it.
In the slot wide to the left of the near side is Lynn Swann. Split in this direction is Lewis. Bradshaw backs up. Pumps forward. Almost caught back there. Breaks the tackle. Now he's stopped again. Now he throws too high for Blyer. Down at the New England 37. Boy, did they have pursuit on Bradshaw. Tony McGee came in high over him and leaped and tried to get him, and Bradshaw ducked out away from him. They continued to pursue him, and he finally unloaded the ball down toward Blyer, threw it too high. We play today without Stallworth. Keep that in mind. We play without Quack, and we play without Gravel from the offensive unit. Swann returned today, and Lewis returned. Steve Bell has been in on one return situation. Walden is in punt formation, standing at his own 42, and they've got Mike Haynes, a single receiver downfield. Snap to Bobby Walden, and he kicks it straight away. Straight down to the 2, bouncing through the end zone and out of play. New England will have the ball at its own 20 on its last 2 possessions. New England has marched to a score. Patriots took the ball, went 7 plays, 64 yards for a touchdown. The next time started at their own 7, went 93 yards in 7 plays for a TD, and they lead us 23-20 with 2:30 to play in the third quarter.
And that 45-yard punt will fatten Walden's average, but it won't help him in something called the punting game, which is a new statistic where they deduct 20 yards from your kick when you put it into the end zone. He stood second in the conference in the punting game stats going into this ball game.
Slot right formation and the quarterback on a sneak, just going right straight up to the 25-yard line. Grogan, straight ahead sneak play. Ernie Holmes makes the stop on him. And the Patriots pick up a vital 5 yards. In the third quarter, Cincinnati 21, Green Bay 7. Halftime, Minnesota nothing, Detroit nothing. Second quarter, Oakland 7, Houston 6. It is second down 5. Slot right. Grogan calling the signal. Giving the ball to Johnson. And Johnson fights his way off the left side along the 30, and I think he has the first down. Andy Johnson, tackled by Jack Lambert. He slammed it off the left side and was moving laterally. And he has the first down just over the 30-yard line. New England's 12th of the afternoon. First down 10.
Lambert made contact with Johnson 2 yards short of the sticks, but Johnson, running real hard, just refused to let Jack drag him down. Carried Jack flat with him to make the first down at the 31-yard line.
Donnie Shell has replaced Clint Edwards at safety. Jim Allen has replaced J.T. Thomas on the left corner. First down 10, New England. Grogan. Handoff goes to Johnson, running to the right. And he's caught at the 30 and brought down. Tackle made by Jack Ham. He was trying to make a turn at the 30-yard line, and Ham had him around the ankles. Brought him down as he leans forward to the 31.5-yard line. Gain of about a yard on the play, second down 9. Greenwood, Green, Holmes, White, up front, Ham, Lambert, Russell, the backers. Allen and Blunt on the corners, Wagner and Shell of the safety. Sellout crowd here today on a drizzly afternoon at Three Rivers, chanting defense. 23-20 in favor of the Patriots. 45 seconds to play in the third quarter. The slot man's to the left. Grogan is back. Grogan is looking. Grogan fires downfield. Open man. That's Francis at the Pittsburgh 30 over the 25 and pushed out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Russ Francis, the tight end, coming outside right Wagner to the near side. And Wagner cut him and pushed him out of bounds at the 21-yard line. And New England is eating us alive with a new type of offense here in the second half.
Well, Joe Green very nearly sacked the quarterback. He seemed to be a lead pipe cinch to attack him when Bill Titus came in from the sidearm show. He's the center. He had dropped back trying to take Joe out of there, and he did. It could have been called a clip, in my opinion, but obviously the officials don't agree with me or didn't see it because they give the pass, and they are now down at the Steelers' 21-yard line. How about that?
Francis has got 6 passes for 140 yards. What an afternoon. Slot right. Pivot for the quarterback. Handoff. And right there's L.C. Greenwood to get Andy Johnson as he takes the ball. Greenwood had him from behind. Jack Lambert, the middle linebacker, was plugging the gap.
Watch Francis having some words with Dwight White, and Joe Green steps between them and says something to Francis. And by the way, Francis with 6 catches reminds you that in the Oakland game, Dave Casper, the tight end for the Raiders, got 7 passes against the Steelers, so they're going to have to shut off these tight ends.
Second down and 9, just outside the Pittsburgh 20. Shifting out of that wishbone offense into a standard throw. Flanker left, split end right. Here's Grogan back. Grogan's looking, plenty of time. Down the middle, completes it to the 7-yard line to Darryl Stingley. Stingley down and in sharply, running across in front of the goal. Tackled by Mel Blunt. They've advanced the ball to the Pittsburgh 7-yard line. First down and goal to go for the New England Patriots. We're at the end of the third quarter with a score. New England 23, Pittsburgh 20.
Archie Griffin has scored a touchdown for the Cincinnati Bengals in the third period, going 9 yards for the score. Extra point is good by Bear, and it's now 21-7 in favor of Cincinnati over Green Bay. Checking some of the other scores. In the third period, Miami 3, New York Jets nothing. Halftime, no score between Detroit and Minnesota. Halftime, Buffalo 7, Tampa Bay 6. In the second period, Oakland leads Houston 7-6. Halftime, Chicago nothing, Atlanta nothing. In the second period, New Orleans leads Kansas City. Score there is 10-7. Later start, we'll have the New York Giants at Los Angeles, Cleveland at Denver, San Francisco at Seattle, St. Louis at San Diego, and the big one, Baltimore at Dallas. On Monday night, Washington at Veterans Stadium to play the Philadelphia Eagles. Baseball, the Phillies win this game today. They're champions of the East. They lead at the end of 7 over Montreal 4-1.
The Steelers in serious trouble as we enter the fourth quarter. They trail the New England Patriots 23-20. The Patriots now at the Steelers' 7-yard line. And this drive began back on their own 20. It was, of course, a long pass to Russ Francis that carried them most of the distance. The Steelers have made changes in their secondary in the second half. They've had Dick Allen in there, and they've had Donnie Shell back there playing safety. I would suppose that there was dissatisfaction, perhaps, with J.T. Thomas and Glenn Edwards. I don't know. But maybe they were injured. I don't have any information on it. At any rate, it's the first time at, let's call it the 6.5-yard line of the Steelers. First and goal for the Patriots.
All right, New England moving right to left. Ball at the 6.5-yard line. First down and goal to go. Patriots leading 23-20. 2 tight ends. Wingman close on the right side. And a fake. Roll out right. Grogan with the ball to 10, to 5. And he keeps his footing. He's into the end zone to score. 2 men with Artistry. Cam and Green on the far side at the 5-yard line. He slipped away from them and went into the end zone to score. On a fine rollout and a beautiful bit of balance by the quarterback, Steve Grogan.
Well, Joe Green and Zach Ham were over there trying to stop him, but Sam Adams, a big guard, 252 pounds, he took Joe Green out of there, and Ham could not manage to make the tackle, so the Patriots have got ahead now by 9, 29-20. Wow.
Will try for the point. His holder is Mike Patrick at the 10. Ball is down. He kicks it. It is up there. It is good. New England has taken a 30-20 lead over the Pittsburgh Steelers. And as we prepare for the kickoff, we'll be right back.
As mentioned a moment ago, the Phillies need a victory today over Montreal in the first of a doubleheader at Jarry Stadium in Montreal, Canada, or a loss by Pittsburgh at St. Louis. But it looks like they'll do it on their own. After 7.5, The Phils lead the Expos 4-1. Big blow by the Phillies was Greg Luzinski's 21st homer of the year in the 6th with 2 men on base. That broke a 1-1 tie. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh, after 4.5, are tied up with St. Louis 1-1. Denny for St. Louis and Keeson for Pittsburgh. Jim Lonborg, looking for a 17th victory, is on the hill for the Phillies in the game at Montreal. In the American League, the Oakland game at Chicago was rained out. Kansas City and Texas after 1, no score. Bird 2-9 for KC, and Bryles 10-9 for the Rangers. In the American League after 5.5, Boston leads Baltimore 3-0. Let's pause now for station identification. This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
Kickoff down to the 5-yard line. Delaplane out over the 10 to 15, up to the 20, fighting his way laterally short of the 25-yard line, and is knocked down on the far side of the field. Dick Kahn gets credit for the tackle as Jack Delaplane made it to the 25. That's the ruling. And it is first down 10. Crowd comes alive as the Steeler offensive unit comes on. 7 seconds into the fourth quarter. We trail by 10.
And you might say it is time for Terry Bradshaw to perform some heroics to get those guys together and get it moving.
Ray Finney is in there at right tackle for the Steelers. Bradshaw rolling right. Bradshaw keeping. Coming to the sideline, and they got him at the 30-yard line. Got 2 licks on him. And did the penalty marker go down? The late lick was by Steve Zabel. He was tackled, knocked down by Nelson, and Zabel came over and took a late lick as he advanced the ball to the 30.5-yard line. He was trying to get out of bounds and then looked a little trapped, didn't make it. And a 15-yard penalty against the New England Patriots. 6'5", 253 pounds. Tackle for the New England Patriots making the stop. They will mark the ball at the 39-yard line, 3rd down 7.
Rocky had 3 blockers in front of him, and they appeared to have it made, but I think Rocky was a wee bit slow in slicing through that hole, else he would have made the first down and had a good yardage gain.
New England has gone into a 4-man front now. Get the pass rush on Bradshaw, and they're coming after him. He stays in, and now he runs forward, and they got him from behind. He gets back to the 38-yard line as he's tackled by Mel Lunsford. They have McGee, Lunsford, Adams, and Moore all in that defensive line. New England switching back to a 4-man front. And Walden is on now, front the football at the New England 38-yard line.
But don't count on it, because remember, the Frenchman has that audible at his disposal, where he can call for that snap from center and take off. Or don't count on Walden punting for the additional reason that he's been known to throw the football. Let's see what indeed he does.
Frenchy looks like he's contemplating something. Mike Ames is deep for New England. He took too long. Delay of game, and they may have wanted the 5 yards. I'm not certain. Possibly figuring that, I'm not exactly certain. It may have been a miscalculation. They may have wanted the extra 5 yards for Walden's punting.
I think they were looking over the options, too, but New England was aware of all the options I just mentioned, and they were playing it loose.
There's the snap. And Walden kicks it to the far corner, and it takes the New England bouncing this into the end zone. Bobby Walden landed the ball at the 8-yard line, and it was headed toward the coffin corner. And it took the wrong bounce, bounced to the right, and went down into the end zone. And New England on the touchback takes over at its own 20. In its last 3 possessions, New England has scored each time. We'll be right back.
We'll check the scoreboard again. Still nothing further on Miami and New York Jets. In the second period, it's 3-0 in favor of the Dolphins. Minnesota-Detroit, after 3 quarters, it's all tied up at 3-3. Third period, Buffalo holding on to Tampa Bay 7-6. Halftime, Oakland leads Houston 7-6. No score at halftime, Atlanta and Chicago. New Orleans leads Kansas City in the second period 10-7. Third period, Cincinnati leading Green Bay 21-7. Baseball, after 7.5 innings of play in the first game, the Phillies still lead Montreal by a score of 4-1. After 4.5, it's Atlanta 4, San Diego 3. After 5, St. Louis now in front of Pittsburgh 3-1, scoring twice in the home fifth. In the American League, Milwaukee at Cleveland rained out. Also, New York at Detroit was postponed because of rain. So was Oakland at Chicago.
Donnie Shell has replaced Mike Wagner. Jimmy Allen is in there for the Steelers. Hand off to Johnson. Sweeping to the left, turning the corner. Penalty marker goes down behind him as he is knocked down around the 28-yard line. New England has not had a strong running game today. Passing-wise, they've thrown 30 times, completing 13 for 257 yards. Banaszak and Edwards made the tackle. And New England is going to be cited for holding. Patriots did very well turn more to the running game now as they work the clock. This will hurt them a little. It'll be first down and 20. Lawrence James has replaced Andy Russell for the Steelers. 30-20 in favor of New England. New England out of the huddle. Running back to wide. Two wide men to the right. Grogan hands it off. There's a marker down on the play. Gives the ball to Johnson, and Johnson advances over the left side up to the 18. Steelers may have been offside. Lawrence Hayes and Donnie Shell made the stop. Pittsburgh was offside. The advance was to the 19-yard line. They picked up 7 yards. They're going to take the 5-yard penalty. So they're still talking about it. They will take it. 5-yard penalty, which will advance the ball to the 17 rather than 19, but they get the down over. First down now and 15. Russell is back in.
And incidentally, I don't think we've mentioned today that Dick Jorgensen is the referee, and I guess you'd say his crew has done a pretty good job because there haven't been many serious base time there on the playing field. 11:44 remaining. The Patriots leading 30-20.
All right, now the crowd coming alive and begging the Steeler defense to clamp down on the Patriots. Wide slot right situation. Patriots at their own 17. Grogan, inside handoff. Cunningham, and he fights his way up over the 20 to the 23-yard line. Hit at the line of scrimmage. Continued to fight his way forward. Advancing the ball to the 23-yard line. They finally place it down. It's very near the 24-yard line. It's going to be second down and 6.
And they are punishing the Steeler defense, which was just tremendous in the first half and just as awful in the second half.
Lambert got credit for the tackle. This time the slot man is to the left. Grogan draw handoff, and the ball carried forward, and fighting his way up over the 30 is Cunningham. He has the first down. Mel Blunt finally stopped him as he went through people, broke tackle, and brought the ball to the 32-yard line. Another first down for New England. Cunningham shaken up on the play. And that brings in his backup man, Don Calhoun, in his third year out of Kansas State, 6 feet, 200 pounds. Slot left formation. Give inside, and Calhoun breaks it up the middle to the 40, the 45, and on to the 47-yard line. And now they're eating up the Steeler defensive line as they bring Calhoun all the way up to the 47.5-yard line. Glenn Edwards made the tackle. 17 first downs for the Patriots. And after trailing 20-9, they took control of this ball game, and they have scored on their last 3 possessions. Slot right formation. New England had its own 47 and a half. And the give is to Johnson. And he flashes over the left side of the line. He's across the 50 to the Pittsburgh 48-yard line. Andy Johnson carries the ball. Jack Lambert made the tackle. And he is hurt.
Well, he suffered a knee injury on that tackle, and he's bent over in some pain, I suppose. And Marv Kellum now comes into the football game replacing Jack Lambert. I don't think it's a serious injury. He jogs off the field with a slight limp, but we shall see. In any event, the Steeler defense had better start digging in because they're being slashed apart. They're giving up valuable time to this New England rushing attack. It's now 9 minutes and 30 seconds remaining and a 10-point deficit to overcome for the Steelers.
Second down and 6 yards to go. New England at the Pittsburgh 48-yard line. They had a man in motion illegally to give the ball to Johnson, and Johnson coming to the left is brought down. Hitting him high was Steve Burnett, and getting him low was John Banaszak. Illegal motion against New England. They had a man jump the snap. Don Calhoun.
Johnson is shaken up, Jack, from that hard hit by Burnett around the head.
And Lambert is coming back out. I think he cut something in the thigh on the left leg, and he's readjusting his uniform. They apparently took a look at it, and Lambert is back in there. Pittsburgh declines the penalty. It's going to be 3rd down and 6 at the 48 as they stop that play at the line of scrimmage. JT comes back out. Taves comes out. Now Lambert comes off the field after going on. Now we're sending 2 men off, leaving us with only 10 men out there. Russell's going back. Now Burnett is going back. Now we got too many men out there. There's a little confusion in the Steeler ranks. Now it's set. Johnson is out and Jeff Phillips is in as a running back. Slot left, flanker right. Grogan wants to throw. Grogan breaks the tackle. Grogan runs down over the 40, the 35, the 30. Dives down over the 25 to the Steeler 24-yard line. They came in on Grogan as though to get him on the sack, and he came running forward and found the opening. J.T. Thomas got him as he dived into the 24-yard line for a first down.
I hate to keep coming back to Andy Russell's hand, but it was Russell who was in there on Grogan. Instead of taking him down with a tackle, he tried to block tackle and tried to just leap on him and knock him down. Russell's got that busted hand all wound up in yards and yards of tape, and I don't think he can use it.
Slot left formation at the 24-yard line. Handoff inside, carried by Calhoun. He gets a couple of yards into the middle of the line. Jack Lambert is there to meet him. Burnett comes up off the bottom of the pile. They pick up 2 yards on the play. Banaszak coming off. Burnett's coming off. Holmes and White are back in for the Steelers. Gives us White, Holmes, Green, and Greenwood in the forward wall. 7:57 and the clock is turning. 30-20 New England leading. The Patriots knocking at the door again. And here's the handoff. Ball carried to the near side by Calhoun. Calhoun at the 20 is ridden out of bounds by Mel Blunt. Calhoun apparently trapped and then broke to the near sideline. Blunt and Lambert making the play. Calhoun having some words with Blunt. And it's going to be 3rd down and 5.
I had thought the official, there goes the clock. His clock is moving, and the ball is at the 19-yard line now. Here come Lauren Taves and J.T. Thomas into the ball game, replacing Jack Lambert. He's still having trouble with that knee, I think, and Andy Russell comes off.
New England out of the huddle. Sending Stingley wide to the right. Putting Phillips in the slot to the right. Grogan throwing to the far side, and it is caught incomplete. At the 10-yard line on the far side, Stingley caught it, but he was out of bounds, covered by J.T. Thomas. An incomplete pass. and New England will go for a field goal.
And, of course, a field goal will give them a 13-point lead, and the only way the Steelers will then be able to overtake them will be with 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points. So a field goal will look mighty sweet to Chuck Fairbanks, the New England Patriots head coach, who has a team that's up and coming, beat Miami last week, and is cashing in on the Steelers this afternoon.
Smith running for his 4th field goal. This from the 27-yard line, a 37-yard attempt. Kicks with the left foot, a sidewinder. 37-yard try. It's long enough. It is high enough that it is off to the side. So the Steelers will take over.
Well, there is a break for the Steelers, and when you get one like that, if you do have anything left in your ball cup, maybe that gives you that lift that you need. There's plenty of time, Lord knows, because there's 6:54 left, and you know what the Raiders did to the Steelers in less than 5 minutes. So the crowd is up. They think that maybe perhaps is the sign, the signal to the Steelers, okay, guys, now it's your turn. But to be factual about it, to be realistic, the Steelers have been a bad ball team in this second half. They haven't done it on offense except for an early touchdown drive that came right at the start of the second half. Since then, nothing on offense, nothing that has really threatened, and the only improvement you can see in them in the second half is that they haven't fumbled after giving up the ball 6 times on fumbles in the first half. But all right, New England, they have been shredding the Steeler defense, and they've been putting the points on the board. Now it's going to be up to their defense to hold the Steelers. 6:54 remaining, and the Steelers trailing 30-20. Let's see what Terry Bradshaw and Chaz Noll have in mind.
Starting at their own 20. 6:54 on the clock. First down 10 for the Steelers. Bradshaw takes. Flips it into the right flat to Swann. Flanker screen. Comes up over the 25. Swann fights his way just short of the 30-yard line. He'll miss a first down by about a half yard. And the tackle made by Julius Adams. 24th pass for Bradshaw. 14 of them completed. Swann's second catch in the afternoon. Correction, his third. One early in the 47-yarder in the second half. And now this one. Second down and 1. Slot left formation. Bradshaw in a long count. Gives it to Franco. Franco cuts over the middle, up over the 35, the 40, and drives out to the 42-yard line. Harris to the 42. Steve King on the tackle for the New England Patriots. 6 minutes to go. First down for the Steelers. Cincinnati leading Green Bay 21-7. Oakland leading Houston 7-6 at the half. Lewis to the left and Swann to the right. Ball spotted at the 41-yard line. First and 10. Bradshaw back again. Bradshaw having to get out of the pocket. They're after him. Now he throws to the near side. Blyer inside the 45, up to the 50, and is in the New England territory at the 48-yard line. Brought down by Bob Howard. Safety valve to Rocky Blyer. Bradshaw in trouble. Got it. To the game running back from Notre Dame. He brings it into New England territory, and he has a first down, I believe. They size it up. They may be calling for the measurement. So they bring the sticks all the way over to the near side, apparently. Now they're bringing the ball back. They've taken the ball in. So they have marked the spot where the play went out of bounds on the near side, and they're bringing the sticks over to measure at that point. First down, number 18 for the Steelers.
And on that pass, Bradshaw got terrific protection from his blockers, Ray Penny, and they flash up there that Franco has 89 yards and 20 carries. Ray Penny was knocked to his knees by his opponent, but the blow knocked the opponent down as well, and then Penny got to his feet and they went at it again. He's just a rookie, but he's played a lot of ball in there today. He's seen a lot of action.
New England going back into a 4-3 alignment. 4-man rush. Bradshaw's back and they're coming after him now. He tries to run out of there, bumps into one of his own men. He's looking and throwing downfield. This is Swann at the 32-yard line. Bradshaw tried to get out of there, ran into one of his own men. At the same time, Bishop and McGee were in on him. And downfield, he tried to hit Swann, and Swann was covered by Steve Nelson, and the pass was wide. 5:22 to play. We trail 30-20. Second down 10 at the New England 48-yard line. Sending Lewis to the left and Swann to the right. Bradshaw calling the signals for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Bradshaw is back. Now he steps forward. They have him. Spins out of there. They got him again. Fights his way. And they're going to get him good at the 42-yard line. Great rush. And Bradshaw fighting to get away. Stopped by Lunsford and Bishop and thrown back at the Pittsburgh 42-yard line. As New England uncorks a vicious pass rush. A loss of 10 yards on the sack. Gordon Gravel has come into the ball game. They had not wanted to use Gravel, but now they do have to use him. Third down and 20 yards to go for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here they come out of the huddle. Clock is turning. 4 minutes and 50 seconds to play in the ball game. And we need a bomb. Bradshaw swing past the right side to Franco. Inside the 45, comes up over the 50, fights down to the 45, and is out of bounds at the New England 43-yard line, and the penalty marker goes down behind. Penalty marker down behind the play. Holding call against the Steelers. That will cost 10 yards. Stepping off 10 yards from the 42-yard line. Takes the ball back to the 32. Got Ray Mansfield that time. So it is third down and 30. Steelers have dominated the rushing game, and New England has heavily dominated the passing game. And New England with about 380 yards total offense in the game. Bradshaw on third and 30. Bradshaw firing downfield, too high for Grossman. Over his head, almost intercepted at the New England 40. Dennis McCrae zeroed in on the ball as it came too high for Randy Grossman, sailed over his head. McCrae tried for the interception at the New England 40 unsuccessfully. An incomplete pass. And the Steelers will have to give it up. Walden will punt. And deep for New England. Mike Haynes sets himself up around the Patriot 30-yard line. Snap to Bobby Walden. And his punt. Carries over to the far side at the 25. Bobbled, it's loose, but recovered. Tough break. Mike Haynes bobbled it and recovered it at the 30. Donnie Shell was down trying to pick up the fumbled football, according to Lou Crack. Penalty marker down back at the line of scrimmage. So another consultation. Illegal man downfield against the Steelers declined by the New England Patriots. So the Patriots take over at their own 29-yard line, where they spot the football. 4:23 to play in the ball game. New England leading by 10 points. Patriots break out of the huddle. Wide to the left is Marlon Briscoe. Stingley is in the slot to the left side. Wide. And the give straight ahead drives Sam Cunningham up to the 31-yard line. He'll pick up a couple of yards. Now they call time to uncover the football. Dwight White on the tackle. Joe Green comes out of the play. Now the clock is turning again. Ball is at the 31-yard line, second down 8. Ham, Lambert, and Russell are the linebackers. Mike Wagner is back in as a safety, and Shell remains in. Here's the give. The ball at fumble, loose. Steelers have recovered. John Calhoun carrying the ball was hit and hit hard. Fumbled the football, and the Steelers have recovered at the New England 31-yard line. Big play. 3:44 to go. Ernie Holmes recovered the ball for the Steelers. That's the third New England fumble. Patriots have lost 2 of them. Actually, the 4th fumble. But they've lost 2 of them. JD points that out. At the 31-yard line. Here's Bradshaw rolling to the right. Bradshaw looking. Now throwing back down the middle. Caught by Frank Lewis in the crowd. He breaks to the right and is brought down at the 10-yard line. Make it the 11. Mike Haynes makes the tackle. So a pass to Lewis. Goes to the 11. Steelers have their 19th first down. First down 10 at the 11-yard line. 3 minutes to go. Bradshaw throwing to the end zone, and there's Swann, and it's broken up. Double coverage in the end zone on Swann, DeCon, and Prentice McCray, and they break up the pass. John Fuqua enters the ball game, replacing Rocky Blyer as a running back. Ball is at the 11-yard line. 2:55. The clock is stopped on the incomplete pass. Lewis to the left and Swann to the right. Bradshaw backs up. Bradshaw throwing. And it is broken up, intending it for Fuqua. Broken up by George Webster on the far side of the field inside the 5-yard line. We're going to pause for station identification.
This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
SCN Canal Zone.
New England's fumble tied the record for the most fumbles in a game. It stood 1943, 10 of them today. That was against the Giants. Blyer is in place of Fuqua now. That's for both clubs. 6 Pittsburgh and 4 for New England. Bradshaw back, steps forward, throws. Fly, right in Grossman. Randy Grossman beats the linebacker, Steve Zabel. Great catch. Great pass. Right on the nose. Randy Grossman takes it in the end zone for the touchdown. And he beats Zabel on the play. Remaining to play as Girella goes for the point after. It's an important one. It's down. Girella kicks it. It is good. Steelers are back to within 3 points. 30-27. 4 plays. 31 yards. Scoring pass, 11 yards to Randy Grossman. 30-27. 30th pass by Bradshaw. 16th cut. Grossman's 7th catch of the afternoon. 69 yards Grossman has in pass reception. Rain falling again here at Three Rivers Stadium. And Girella will kick it off on the 35-yard line. 2 minutes and 44 seconds to play. Jarrella inspects the turf carefully. Kicks off from the area where the second base cover is put in from the baseball diamond. They put one man deep. They got a lot of people up front looking for the short kickoff. Ricky Feature is down deep. And Jarrella kicks it away. Feature at the 2, out over the 5, the 10, the 15, the 20. Puts his head down, comes over the 25, and goes down at the 26-yard line. Ricky Feature on the return. Johnny Shell down in the bottom of the play, and with him, Marv Kellum. And now the crowd chanting defense. Clock stopped with 2:35 to play. Steelers trailing 30-27. The Patriots have the ball at their own 26-yard line. And we need another big play. Another miracle. What a ball game this has been. Both ends are tight for the Patriots. Flanker wide to the right. They'll try to hold on to the football. They hand it off. Here's Cunningham coming out to the left. Getting sailed at the 25-yard line. Donnie Shell got him. Aided by Mel Blunt. A yard loss on the play as they sent Cunningham to the left. And he was nailed by Donnie Shell. Clock says 2:20. And timeout has been called by Pittsburgh. Second down 11. The Steelers use the timeout at this point because they know up ahead is the 2-minute warning where they can probably pick up their next timeout. What a ball game this has been. You go back to the early stages when Pittsburgh missed out on a lot of opportunities with fumbles. Steelers scored the first touchdown, a 7-0 lead, went 80 yards in 12 plays. Fuqua dropped the punt. New England recovered at the 26 and got a vital field goal. Later in the first quarter, Franco fumbled, and they came out of that with a field goal. In the second period, Walden dropped the ball on a punt situation. New England recovered, and Calhoun fumbled and gave it back. Calhoun's had 2 vital fumbles this afternoon. Second down 11. New England had its own 25-yard line. Using a pair of tight ends. Flanker wide right. Here's a give to Cunningham, slashing into the right side of the line, and he stopped short of the 30 at the 29-yard line. Cincinnati has defeated Green Bay 28-7. This game is vital now. Mike Wagner gets the tackle along with Jack Lambert. And the clock is turning down to 2 minutes. The automatic timeout comes. Steelers football continues after this timeout.
Well, the Philadelphia Phillies have clinched the National League East title.
Today's Steeler game is being heard around the world on the American Forces Radio Network from Pittsburgh. Our greetings to you wherever you might be listening. One of over 300 American Forces stations around the world. We hope you're enjoying today's game. 30-27 New England. 2 minutes to go. The Patriots, 3rd and 7 at their own 29-yard line. Briscoe wide left. Wide slot to the left. Darrell Stingley. Quarterback Steve Grogan. Big play. Draw, handoff. It's nailed to the Steelers at the 25-yard line. He gave it to Cunningham on the draw, and Ernie Holmes was there to nail him. And now Pittsburgh calls timeout. With 1:54. The Steelers take time. And New England will have to punt the football. They have not had to do that too often this afternoon. Delaplane and Fuqua are deep for the Steelers. What a spot for Delaplane to get a 70-yard run back for a touchdown. You think I wouldn't stand them on their ear down at Salem College? Probably go out to set fire to a haystack. Mike Patrick in punt formation. At his own 10, the punt will carry right to left across your radio dial. Steelers poised for the rush. Here's the snap. Patrick has the ball. He gets it away, and it's a beauty. High and spiraling. Down to Delaplane at his own 37. Coming to the right. He's looking for a lane. flag down, and they cut him at the 37-yard line. The tackle, as Delaplane tried to get outside of the right to the near side, made by Al Chandler. And a penalty marker goes down behind him, and we're going to be cited. They put the ball down at the 35-yard line. The marker was dropped at the 39-yard line. Another one down up at the 43-yard line. Flipping call against Pittsburgh. We have a minute 42. After a punt and a 15-yard penalty. Steelers have it at their own 20. Here they come out of the huddle. First down 10 at their own 20-yard line. Minute 42 to go. Bradshaw. Back to throw. Bradshaw just fumbles the ball. It's loose. They're diving for it. It's picked up back there by Ray Mansfield. A Patriot hurt on the play. This is going to take the ball all the way back near the 1 or 2 yard line. We have a timeout for an injured player, and the ball is all the way back to the 1 yard line. The Steelers' 7th fumble. And that breaks the all-time record for the most fumbles in a Steeler game by the two teams. What about the Steelers themselves? That's not in the book. Steeler team records. I think the most fumbles by the Steelers was 10. I think probably we're reading the wrong stat. You think so? We'll have to check that one with Joe Gordon. We have 2 timeouts remaining. The injured player, Julius Adams, is being helped off the field. Fumble recovery at the 1. So it's going to be second down now. 29 yards to go. Lowry. And the clock down to a minute 29. So Adams has left the ball game. McGee is in there. Moore is in. Bishop is in. Lunsford. And they've gone to a 4-3. Much of the time in this second half. Bradshaw from his own 1. He's 99 yards away. Bradshaw deep in the end zone. They're after him. Breaks out to the right. Throws. There's an open man upfield at the 20. Put by Flyer. Takes that. Swann driving over the 30 to 35 and is brought down to the far side of the field. At the 38-yard line, the clock is turning down to a minute 10. It was Swann, not Flyer. Steelers call time. No, the official is calling time. While the Patriots get back up the field. Pass to Swann at the 38-yard line. He could not get out of bounds. He was trying to. First and 10. Well, that was a big one. Now Bradshaw has time. Looking, throwing to the far side, and it's caught in Raiders territory. Caught at the 45, down to the 40, and Lewis goes out of bounds. The 38-yard line, 50 seconds. Steve Nelson finally got him. Frank Lewis, the receiver. On the far side of the field, got out of bounds at the Patriots' 38-yard line. First down now. Play carried to the Pat 38. My stats are suffering. Holy smokes. 50 seconds. First and 10. I think we still got 2 timeouts. Or 1 at least. Here's Bradshaw back. Bradshaw throwing to Blyer. Nope, can't hold it. Down at the 31-yard line. Steve Nelson covering on the play. Again, the rush on Bradshaw. Let's see what the Patriots are doing. They're using 4 men in their rush. It's going to be second down 10. We need about 10 more yards at least. We could use a shot to get us down about the 25 at least. Get within distance for Girella. Julius Adams is back into their line. They're in a standard 4-3. Bradshaw is back deep. They're coming after him. He stiff-arms the man and throws the ball downfield, gets rid of it, incomplete. A penalty marker is going down. Pass fell in front of Randy Grossman. They're getting Bradshaw for getting rid of the football, and I can't believe it. Bradshaw stabbed the official. He threw it right in front of Randy Grossman. And Bradshaw is upset. Earlier in the game, the Patriots threw one out of bounds. They did not call it. The official has dropped the flag on Bradshaw, and that is impossible. He got rid of the football, threw it right in front of Randy Grossman. A 15-yard penalty. With loss of balance. I told you earlier in the game, Steve Grogan unloaded one almost into the band on the far side of the field. They did not call it. Randy Basaha is on the field playing the safety position for New England. 15-yard penalty, 39 seconds. Now that is some kind of a murderous call. The ball went. He got rid of it, unloaded it right downfield in front, a yard or two in front of Grossman. Bradshaw is back deep. Now Bradshaw lobs one. Grossman can't get it at the 33-yard line, a little bit out of his reach in New England territory. Dennis McCray coming over to cover, just a little too high and too long for Randy Grossman. Fourth down and 26 yards to go. 34 seconds. And the 15-yard penalty was a killer. I have never seen in his whole career at Pittsburgh Bradshaw so incensed. His 7th season, and I think if he hadn't been restrained, he was bumping the man. All right, 4th down play. We need about 30 yards on this one. Bradshaw's back. They're coming after him. He's got time this time. Now he throws. There's Lewis to take it to the 25. Lewis for the ball. He's got a first down, fighting his way down to the 20-yard line. Frank Lewis has a first down for the Pittsburgh Steelers at the New England 21-yard line with 22 seconds on the clock. They've called timeout. Stop the clock. Bradshaw comes through. He hits Lewis. Lewis makes a great catch. Lewis, who's been out for almost the entire preseason. Lewis back in here today for the first time in the regular campaign on a crossover pattern for the far side. Puts the ball at the 25, goes to the 21, and the Steelers have a 1st and 10, 22 seconds on the clock. What do you think about that? Overcoming every possible adversity. The Chicken 15-yard penalty. Taking us back to a 4th and 26 situation. And Bradshaw hitting Lewis to the New England 21-yard line. Bradshaw has conferred with Chuck Noll. Lewis got the first pass of the day. He's made 4 receptions, none bigger than that one. 22 seconds. 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line. Bradshaw rolling right. Bradshaw lobbing one into the end zone. Swann going for it. Swann catches it, but he's out of bounds. Just a little too long. Incomplete. What a job Swann did. Drifting in behind Prentice McCray. Going into the air, caught the ball, came down over the end line, out of bounds, an incomplete pass. It was so close. McCray and Kahn were both there. And Swann just making one of those great catches. 15 seconds. Well, we got another timeout. think Noel was talking to Jarella. I can't tell whether they're trying to get ready or not. If they happen to sack him, we're in real trouble. 15 seconds. They're stacked up front. Here's Bradshaw rolling to the left. Bradshaw throwing to the end zone, and it is too long. Overthrows. Now they throw the penalty marker down. What is this for? Illegal receiver downfield. 9 seconds. Well, that's a big 5 yards. 15 yards. 10 yards. What's he marking? 10 yards. Back to the 31-yard line. Loss of down. 9 seconds. Got to go to the sideline and try to get something, right, J.D.? Lewis and Swann are the wide receivers. Bradshaw's back. Bradshaw lobbing one over there toward Lewis, and it's too long in the far corner of the end zone. 3 seconds, and Jarella comes on. Lead from the 38-yard line, a 48-yard attempt. Walden the holder. 3 seconds on the clock. Crowd is on its feet. It's a 39-yard line, a 49-yard attempt. It is down. Jarella kicks it. It is long enough. It is so good. It is to the side. A 49-yard attempt by Jarella. And on the play, on the field goal try, the clock runs out. The ball game is over here at Three Rivers Stadium. And the crowd is watching in disbelief. The end of the game with the score, New England 30. Pittsburgh 27.